Another day. Made it through another day. Life is a series of days. And you're certainly going to have your days where you want to give up. Whether you want to give up on a person, whether you want to give up on a job, whether you want to give up on life completely. Um, it's tough, I'm through wanting to give up. I used to work with a guy. He actually died. I used to work with a guy. He was like a director, a manager of a region. And he had worked his way up. He started as like a night shift tech. And I liked him because he understood the different levels of workers because he worked his way up. He wasn't just given something. And so he could relate to, the regular worker. And, he played the game. He had to be a politician too. Look, in life, you have to play the game a little bit. You have to be a little bit of a politician. I knew that sincere guy that overall, hold on a second. Let me help my man Shonuff out because he thought it was clickbait. I'll help you out, Shonuff. Don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about clickbait. You know what I mean? You could watch someone else. But person who understood life and he understood people at different levels. He had empathy. And I remember him always kind of having a catchphrase when things would get bad. He would say, "Keep the faith." And my mom would always say that too. One thing I always learned from my mom, and not in a religious way, but one thing she leaves me with is she says, "Sam, I know life's crazy." She goes, "But try to keep the faith." And the guy who used to say that, the manager, he eventually died. How'd he die? I think he overdosed basically on painkillers because he had got his knee replaced. But more than that, in my conversations with him, he was struggling with life. He was struggling with, he was getting older. His kids were graduating high school and he had realized he hadn't spent a lot of time with them. He did dedicate a certain amount to his job and, just raising kids and having a full-time job and the pressures of life. I know Shonuff's got a picture of the devil. He's waiting for UBI and he wants to say my videos are clickbait, But some people out there, trying to be positive, trying to do the best they can in this life. They know this life isn't perfect. You understand what I'm saying? And they're putting one foot in front of the other. Okay. Trying their best to keep the faith. Okay. Trying their best to stay positive. Guys, if you can't find anyone positive, if someone gives you negativity, you don't need them in your life. I wasted some years of my life keeping people around me that I had to convince that I wasn't clickbait, that I wasn't leading them astray, or that I was worthy to hang out with them. You don't need someone's approval. You don't need someone to like you. If someone doesn't like you for being yourself, you know what they can do? They can look at the front door or the back door, whatever you want to say. If you can't find anyone good in your life, be willing to walk alone. Let that guide your light. Because I'm telling you right now, the number one thing that'll destroy your life is a negative person or a person that has a profile picture of a devil. Huh, that's a dead giveaway. Huh. But he used to say, keep the faith. And it was ironic that I felt like almost he committed suicide. I felt like he kind of did give up because I had saw him weeks before he had passed away. His passing was kind of a shock to everyone. And I don't know the exact cause. I'm speculating a little bit, but I'm also sharing you what I saw with my life experience. And my life experience was the past couple months I saw him before he died was he was over medicated. He was trying to hold on to any bit of faith he had in life. And he was trying not to give up. But it's tough. Life wears on you. Life wears on you. Yes, it does. And, what you find is people who give you advice, what they're really doing is they're talking to themselves. They're encouraging themselves. So every time he would say, keep the faith, what he was trying to do was encourage himself. Every time I say stay positive, I'm trying to encourage myself. I got to deal with show enough. I got to deal with other people in life that, 1 minute they're nice to you, next minute they're not. And if you don't entertain them, if you don't make them happy, you owe them something. You don't owe anyone anything. So you don't. I often reflect too, when I was young, I used to love playing video games. Love it. And I think it was a blessing. I think it helped me in life adapt to technology. So I don't think video games are all bad. And I'm very thankful that my mom let me play video games. But I remember playing certain video games, and when I couldn't beat it, I felt like the game was cheating. I started to give up, and I would shut the game console off. Sometimes I wouldn't go crazy, but once in a while, I'd rip the cord out of the socket. I love to drive. You're so right, sweetheart. Negativity, people are toxic. They're toxic. Trump is toxic. I don't like Trump. I don't like him. I'm sorry. I know I lose some subscribers when I say that. That's okay. I don't like Trump. I don't like toxic people. I don't like them. We can dance around the topic, but here's what happens. Here's what happens when we dance around the topic. Is that, we try to you don't like that person. They don't like you. You don't like their style. And it's like, you try to play a game with them, but 10 years down the road, you just had enough and you give up on a relationship. But you tried to form a relationship with someone who you're not on the same page. Relationships are hard enough work, even with good people. I don't want to be in a relationship with someone that sees the world differently than me. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to oppress their rights. Even though I know some people, like Trump, if you don't agree with him, guess what? Basically bully you into shutting up. I don't want to be around type of people. I don't like bullies. Okay. I don't mind someone speaking truth to power. I don't mind someone giving direct talk. Okay, but I don't like bullies. I got bullied when I was young. Then you know what I started doing? I started swinging back. Okay. You can't beat up every bully, though. That's the truth. Anyone can get beat up at any time. And dealing with people make you want to give up in life. Especially if you're a compassionate person. You're trying to do the best you can. You're trying to go live every night on YouTube. And overall, you're giving a positive message and you still got to deal with jerks. You want to give up? Even some people that come in on a channel, and I understand that they're struggling with keeping a job. And I understand why. I understand even a basic minimum wage job, it's very mentally taxing. I understand that. And I understand why certain people want to give up. And the only reason I tell them don't is because I know if you give up, the world will keep kicking you. And I don't want to see anyone get hurt more than they have to get hurt. So, it's just, I'm just trying to tell you, look, if you got a other way to do it other than work, I'm not mad to give up, but I don't want to see you destitute because I'm out here in the street and I see people destitute. I'm not sitting there with a profile picture of the devil. And when someone's trying to live a positive life and give a positive message, I get some smart ass remark. I'm not that type person. Okay. Because if something's not for me, I don't even check them out. Okay. But when I was young and we would play video games, like I say, sometimes you couldn't beat the computer or you couldn't beat your friend that you'd play and you'd want to give up and you give up. And life is similar to that. Sometimes you feel like maybe you got past a certain amount of levels in the game and then you got to a certain level of the game and you just, you can't win and you want to just give up. So the feeling is sincere. The feeling is real. But again, why shouldn't you give up? Because the world will keep kicking you if you do. Now, some people entertain suicide. I'll speak directly to it. That's even like that, the boss that I had, the director. I don't think he directly committed suicide, but I think him over-medicating, I think played a part in him basically hurting himself to a certain degree. I don't know all the details, but I'm sharing with you what I saw from my perspective. I can't speak to everyone and everyone's unique situation. I think life can get bad enough for anyone for them to give up. So I'm certainly not going to be disingenuous. But we have to find what we can to be thankful for. I mean, I look at my life, I say I got a lot to be thankful for. I can't bitch and moan. I got my health, I got my vigor, I got a job. I have different things in my life that I have to be thankful for. And that kind of pulls me back from being too negative. You can't be too positive either. I mean, I'm not a Joel Osteen. You have to address life. Life is a little bit negative, but you have to try to stay positive. You have to try to keep the faith. You have to be thankful. And I'm telling you right now, if you keep the wrong people around you, you can't be thankful because you're fighting them off. You know, that's why I get rid of trolls. That's why I get rid of my father. That's why I get rid of anybody who, like, it's like, I mean, I can't even understand it. Like I say, like even today, like the perfect example shown enough. I'm sitting here, my message tonight, when I opened up, had nothing to do with politics, nothing to do about any negativity. It was about not giving up on life. And even that's something so simple. Like, and like 2 nights ago, I did something like try again. And even something so simple like that is no negativity, no controversy. I know eventually my conversations start to evolve to controversy. But even the basic things, they still, someone will pick something out of it and totally make it negative. Even though it's a basic general thing. And that's why I say, you know what? I can't worry about what anyone thinks. If you're going to give up, you give up because you want to. There's some jobs like I just wouldn't quit because I ain't going to let this person make me quit. And that's why I tell you guys, don't give up on a job because of your boss. Don't let him mess up your money. Don't let anyone mess up your money. I ain't going to let Show Enough mess up my money. Huh. Cheap ass too. Come on, man. Come on, Show Enough. And I show Enough a lot of love. How many times he's came here, other people came here. I show everyone love until they get crazy. I showed my dad love. I would call him every week. I would speak positive things to him. He would be watching the news. I said, don't watch the news. Stay positive. Think of something positive. You're blessed. But after a while, I get tired of encouraging other people to just hang in there. I mean, shit, if every time I got to talk to you, I got to talk you off the ledge, and then you're always giving me a hard time, you're not going to be in my life. I'll give up on that relationship because I don't want to give up on life. I'm trying my best, but I ain't going to keep encouraging you, and all I get back is like, more and more I have to give to you. It's just some people you can't win with. Can't win with them. It's a shame, but it's the way life is. But those type of people definitely make you give up. Because I think in life we do enough self-inflicting. We beat ourselves up for eating the wrong foods. Some people who struggle with drugs, some people struggle with gambling, some people who struggle with relationships. And I agree, Angela. I mean, it's easier to give up. There's no doubt about it. I mean, when you're playing a video game and you can't beat the computer, it's just easier to turn a console off. It is. And so, I understand that. But try to keep the faith. Try to hang in there. I think a day makes a difference. I think if you can get through the night, hopefully tomorrow will bring a new day. You try to take life one day at a time. You try to, like when I wake up now as I get older, I try not to have a long memory. I don't smoke weed like some of you guys. And then you wonder if I'm on drugs. I'm not mad you smoke weed. But every day when I wake up, I try to have a short memory. Like I try not to think too much of the past. I try to just say, you know what? Today's a new day. Let me just embrace it for what it is. Try to be thankful and just stay positive. I mean, again, I know like sometimes I start to talk about politics and other things, but for the most part, my message is based in try to stay positive, live a simple life, stay productive, right? These are all things I center my life around, not giving up. Cut off people that give you negativity. I mean, I think my message, if you get past like a lot of my times, like when I could be a little bit rough, I think my message is very basic and wholesome. I really do. Now, I know I talk about masturbating in a sock and that makes people upset. I know I talk bad about ShopRite and makes some people upset. I understand it. So I don't blame someone for getting upset with me, but they have the right to leave. I don't hold anyone hostage here. And I don't say anything bad about anyone until they start to come at me. Now, I think I made Doug upset last night because, but I'm not going to talk about that. Let's stay positive. But, just try to have a short memory. Or, try not to remember too much pain. Try to let go. You know, try to, self-care is the key. I mean, eating right, going for a walk. I got to go for a walk every hour. I got to be thankful I can walk. Got to be thankful I can use my bathroom on my own. Especially after I tell you about don't date a nurse. There's a lot of nurses that they would love to see me come into the hospital. Why? They want their revenge. I say don't date a nurse. They're mad at me. I love you guys. Don't hurt me if I ever need your help. Come on, guys. And when some people have given up on life, because there are some people that do give up on life, maybe not completely, but they give up. I think it's true that they don't want to see you persevere. And it's sad, but it's true. Like there's been some people I've met on YouTube, and I met them on like they liked my channel because talking about minimalism. I think they were down and out. They started living in their car, and then it didn't work out for them. And then all of a sudden they lashed out on me. But before that, the only thing I ever did was speak positivity over their life. I never said anything negative to them. And now they make it a point like to come in and thumbs down or do this and that. And it's just like, it's not my fault, that, you gave up. I mean, and I always try to encourage you to stay positive and work and be productive and eat well. But a lot of times when other people give up, even if it has nothing to do with you, it's your fault. It's your fault. And that's why, again, like, I analyzed it for a while, cutting out people in my life. Because I do love people. I mean, I joke around, but I do love people. And I know I'm a good person. I don't need to justify myself. I treat people right. I'm not perfect. But I said to myself, you don't need many people in your inner circle. You really don't. You really don't. I had a friend, his mom used to always say, if at the end of your life, you look at one hand and you have that amount of sincere friends, then you've been blessed. At the end of your life, if you can look at one hand and you can count the number of real friends you have, you've been blessed. And even me, to be honest with you, I don't, as I view a friend now, it's someone who maybe I could talk to once in a while on the phone or have some type of positive interaction with, but it's not really like hanging out or anything because I value my alone time. And for me not to give up, I just need to dump all my energy into myself and what I'm trying to do in my life. At this point in my life, I don't have any more energy to outgo to other people to a certain extent, other than virtually. I know myself. I could lie, but that's just where I'm at. I dumped a lot out when I was younger. It's like you can have a newer car. Like my car is only 3 years old, but I got 126,000 miles on it. So, like I may only be 39, but I dumped a lot of energy and a lot of life out young. So it's like, I feel like I'm at like, retirement age almost, So you have to know yourself, what you can handle, what you can't handle. That'll help you from giving up. I know I can't handle too much commitment, too much obligation. Now, will I give up on living in my car? I don't know, give up. It may evolve because I constantly evaluate what's best for my self-care. Because self-care is paramount for you not giving up on the big picture of life. And each day I wake up and I evaluate it. At night, I tend to think, Sam, it's time for a home base at this point in my life. And then I wake up and I'm not ready for that commitment yet. There's no perfect answer. But for me, again, this lifestyle, like I documented from the beginning, was a transition for me to downsize my life and move to Florida. I hesitate on giving up on the nomadic lifestyle completely. Why? Because nothing is permanent in life. And I know, like, even if I buy a home base, 10 years changes a lot. So, being that now I understand what life is constant change. Nothing stays the same. Neighborhoods change, people change. Jobs change, everything changes. And so thank you, XB Jeffy, for reminding me to take a hydration break, brother. I'm going to do that right after this thought, brother. I appreciate you, man. Being that everything changes, it's like I'm a little bit hesitant because now I'm so conscious of how life is and how nothing is permanent that I don't want too many long-term attachments because, life is almost better off not living too attached. If I, talk to enough, I know I could start something up. But it's just, I don't want to be attached. It's not because I'm scared to be hurt. It's just too much work. I see a dog. I love dogs. I see a dog. I had a dog. The dog died. Do I want to get committed to another dog? No, because it all ends. The dog ends. Nothing's forever in this life. And sometimes, like that reality, there's some people that are very conscious, very empathetic. They understand that reality of life. And I did a couple of videos talking about I hate life. And a lot of people who are very aware of that thought, they comment on that and they say everything is meaningless. Just like King Solomon in the Bible, he wrote a whole book in the Bible talking about life is meaningless. At the end, he basically said, look, my best answer to you, I'm paraphrasing, is stay positive and keep the faith. That was basically his summary of life. So he basically wrote a whole Bible. Look, I hate life, he said. Life is meaningless. He goes, and he did everything. He had a bunch of prostitutes, he said. He built big houses for himself. He said, but then, he realized it was all meaningless. He even said he had a bunch of slaves. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah. They got out of slavery, and then he had a bunch of slaves. Go figure. Go figure. But that's life. And let me take a hydration break. XB Jeffy, thank you for reminding me, brother. I appreciate you, XB Jeffy. I hope you're doing good, brother. XB Jeffy, hang in there, man. I know you were doing a video every day, and now it's like, life is wearing on you, and you're ready to give up. I can understand that, brother. You're going to go through different seasons of life, different phases. Like I said, my best advice is just try to stay positive, keep the faith. Don't allow anyone in your life to bring you negative energy. Not worth it. Go for a walk. Try to eat healthy. When you're having a tough day, and you're going to have bad days, guys, like Tupac said, you're going to see a lot of bullshit in this world. But through all the rain and pain, try to keep your sense of humor. And in the morning, there's another day, Turn my fan on. It was very hot today in Florida. Very hot. I mean, it was hot up north, too, I heard. I spoke to a couple of people up north in New Jersey. But at night, it's cooled down. It does cool down. It was hot. But it's the height of the summer. It's the middle of July. It's the height of the summer. It'll be like this for at least another month or so. So I'm used to it. If I was older, it would be a little bit more of a challenge. I'm still middle-aged, so I could deal with it. But you certainly have to think about your health, when you're in the extreme weather. Let's take a hydration break. All right, let's go to all live comments now, guys. Also, guys, I appreciate if you take the time and effort to click the thumbs up button and share the video. It's a free way to show love. Thank you. 2020, stay positive, brother. I appreciate that positive comment. Wayne, what's up, man? Yo, what's up, Wayne? Good to see you, man. Thank you for your positive comments. 2020, sure enough's gone, yeah. It's a shame because he was a positive viewer, and I used to always give him positive feedback. I showed him love and appreciation. But all of a sudden, like he's sitting at home, he's realizing that, Andrew Yang's not going to give UBI. Trump's going to win, even though I don't support Trump. And, now he's lashing out on me. Is that right? No. No, my message is about not giving up, okay? Sometimes I feel like I want to give up, especially after having a comment like Show Enough left. But, it's like, hey, look, that's fine with me. One less person I have to deal with. I love to drive. Hey, Sam, you were on fire yesterday, thank you. 2-hour live session, man. I dumped a lot out of this. That's why I dumped a lot out, man. I was drained even all the way into today, man. It's a lot to give that much of yourself, man. It's like, phew. And it takes a lot of energy, man, to get stuff done in life. And, I mean, to get to a level of, like, real passion. So, it's true. I love to drive. Thank you. I love to drive. Mr. Laffy, but I saw the replay. Thank you for watching the replay. I love to drive, and thank you for your positive comment. Little fiery one. Hey, Idaho's in the house. So give a magical heart with a sparkle, a fire emoji, a potato emoji, and is that a sock? I don't think that's a sock. I don't know what that is. But I used to make sweet potatoes with no butter when I had a house. And if I were to get a home base now, I'd probably go back to that, just making kale and sweet potatoes with Goya beans, low sodium at night. Healthy dish. The baked potato with beans will fill you up without a meat additive or without too much salad dressing. I've ran into a couple people that do say they're into the keto diet. I know I bash the keto diet, but only because it seems like a scam. But basically what it is not too many carbohydrates and a lot of fatty and protein type foods. But one thing I will say positive about it is at least it encourages people to have a more conscious mindset towards health. So that's positive. What I will say is this, though, is that Whether you go on a keto diet, vegetarian diet, plant-based diet, whatever diet, it's always going to come back to reading the food label and knowing the nutritional value. Because you can eat meat and be skinny and in great health, but you have to take in a certain amount of calories, not too many, not too little, certain amount of sugar, certain amount of fat. So really, it's just all about a balanced lifestyle. Everyone has their own preferences. I mean, I lean towards the plant-based, but it's all about calories, sugar intake, sodium intake. So the best advice I can give you, I did a playlist about health and nutrition. I mean, it's just a basic general thing. But from a guy who lost 200 pounds, it's not about a diet. It's about knowing your food nutritional value and how much you're putting in your body and what you're putting in your body. That'll keep you from giving up. Because let me tell you something, when you eat unhealthy, you really feel bad about life. Now, I know what it is. Like today I was having a little bit of a bad day. And it's like when you're having a bad day, especially mentally, it's like you don't even want to go for a walk. You don't want to do anything but just eat to like numb your mind of pain. Because when you eat something exciting, your mind gets like, an adrenaline, like a temporary high, but then you come back down. So you have to fight that. It's not easy, and I understand why many people can't fight. It's a huge mental battle. And that's why I really understand too. I was watching a couple videos about homeless people in Florida today, and a lot of them were on drug addiction or alcohol, and it reminded me of some family members and people I knew. As any addiction, food addiction, drug addiction, it really comes back to a mental issue. There's a level of mental strength that some people have and some people don't, and it doesn't make the people that have mental strength better than the people that don't. Not that there's one answer, not that people don't do it to themselves, but there's something in the mind that some people are able to fight off life, and some people are not. I don't understand. It's a little bit of a mystery. So it's interesting. XB Jeffy said, it's still raining in Idaho? Well, brother, I love you, man. You're a positive guy. Idaho's a disaster, man. I can't even lie to you. I can't believe it's raining in the middle of the summer. Let's continue to read the live comments. Free to be me. Good to see you, brother. Peace, and peace to you also. I gave up on school teacher and on grateful kids. I understand. They will kill you if you let them. It's tough, man. People either drain your energy or inspire you. And most people drain your energy. Very few people inspire you. And even people that inspire you, they may turn you off eventually. I may inspire you today. You may hate me tomorrow. I understand that. But you really have to be conscious of what people are doing. Are they sucking your energy or giving you energy? Because you don't need to be around people who are vacuums. They suck your energy right out of your soul. Pooh, man, don't give up. That's a positive comment. Thank you. I love your drive. Great advice. Negative people are toxic. Toxic is a great word. Toxic is a great word. Toxic is a stench. It's a smell that, you breathe it in. It's so bad for you that you can feel like your lungs almost decaying as you breathe it in. There's some people, like there's something in the spirit that there is actually like an aroma that a negative person, a toxic person, that's a great word, they give off, that it crushes your lungs. It crushes the breath of life that you have in it. There's like a scripture, there's a saying that, like God breathed life into you. And like when you feel that, and when you think about that spiritually, not religiously, like you feel like the fresh air scent, like of potpourri, and you feel like, life-giving energy. When you're dealing with a toxic person, it's like someone put like, not just a dookie, it's like you walk into a bathroom and somebody took a dookie, but not just a regular dookie. Like, they haven't took a shower in 5 days. Their vagina smells like raw salmon. They haven't washed their penis. It smells like, old urine. And the whole bathroom smells like decay and toxicity. And you go in that bathroom and you say, you don't feel like God breathed life into you. You feel like, someone just violated your rights. And sometimes, like when people, when I say like, sometimes I feel like people are hitting on me on YouTube. Like, and I don't care if they're gay, straight, or transgender, but sometimes I feel like violated. Like they're not really trying to be my friend. Like they're just trying to have sex with me. Like, and I almost feel like a girl, like how girls feel. Like that's a violation of like, our friendship. Like, I know like hot girls, like, they know like guys are having a sex with them, but like, like when some guys like, or girls or whatever, like they comment on my channel, like they just go right to like hitting on me. Like I feel like, come on, man, like, it's like violation of like, a certain protocol. And that takes energy out of me. Not because like I don't love them no matter what they want to do with their life, whatever sexual preference. But then I look at every comment they ever sent me where I was like, were they just buttering me up to have sex with me? Now I know what women feel like. Have a YouTube channel, guys. Now you're going to know what women feel like. Now, some of you ugly women, you may not get that, but I understand. Look, because look, I used to know a guy, all he would date was big, ugly chicks. I won't say ugly, but big chicks. So look, it's not about being big or being skinny. Now, because I truly do believe that some people that they count their calories so much, they have no fun, you would never want to date them. They're almost have mental issues on the extreme end of health. And it's like, like I remember I got with one girl, and she was very muscular, and you felt on her butt, and it was like feeling on like a guy like who doing like squats all day. You want to have a little jiggle. You want to have a little like loose skin. I mean, you don't want your butt to be so firm that like it's like a rock. Now some of the big chicks don't get too excited. I mean, you don't want to have like a squishy But you don't want, look, I don't want to have anything, guys. I masturbate in a sock. Let me be honest. But all I'm trying to tell you is, whatever you are, big, skinny, or extreme workout person, one is I preach stay single as best you can. But if you want to be in a relationship, there's someone out there for you. But it's a lot of work. Even if you meet a good person, that's why I just don't want to deal with it. It's too much work. Now I know some people that I love that are going through a divorce as we speak. Good people. Great people. Queen, I love you. Stay positive. Queen, I know you burnt your hair again. Queen, I love you. You've been a blessing in my life. I love you, Queen. Stay positive. But I know someone right now, a great person I met in my life, and I'm very thankful for him. He's going through a divorce. And he's staying positive because he's a positive person. He's a compassionate person. But I know there's got to be days he wants to give up. Especially divorce, you commit to someone, you build a life with them, you build a house, you have kids. To dissolve all that and almost to start over makes you want to give up. Sometimes the idea of having to start over will make you want to give up. Because it's like you're erasing like the past 10, 20 years of hard work you just put in. So what do? You just put one foot in front of the other and keep going. And there's a YouTuber that I watched that it looked like his channel had got hacked. He had built his way up. I was like one of his first 100 subscribers. He had built up all the way to like 35,000 subscribers within the course of like 5 years. And like his channel got hacked, and what did he do? He started a new one. I give him credit. I may have given up. I'll be honest with you. And I know he's frustrated. I know in his mind he wanted to give up, but he put one foot in front of the other. He was able to get his old channel back, but I was like, man, I give him credit. I give him credit. Try not to give up. Not easy. Not easy. All right, let's continue to read the live comments. Pool man, bro, when I lose at a video game, sometimes I punch holes in the wall. I understand. Definitely, when it gets to the state of punching holes in the wall, when I was very young, I was at that point. I grew out of that because I realized when you're at a point of anger, I don't know your age, but when you're at a point of anger and it gets to that point where you're being destructive to yourself and to other things, you really have to look at reevaluating your life and anger management and spirituality, because it's not healthy for you or for anyone around you to get that angry, and it's better off not playing games, at least until you can figure out how to control it. I know it's not easy. I've been there. I understand the pain that you're going through. But definitely you want to try to work on not causing destruction to yourself or to other things or anything like that. But I understand what you're saying. Puhul, how do I come to a positive outlook? It's not easy. Some people spend their whole life looking for it. I do think there's a level of spirituality. One of the first parts of me as an adult, like trying to build my life, a better life, was spirituality. And I got involved in a church, and I started to read the Bible for myself and other faith literature too, of other religions. But really, mainly the Bible. I look at things a little bit differently now, but that was still some of the things I've learned through a spiritual foundation helped me get a better perspective on life. and having a good support system. Even though some of the people in the church I became disillusioned with, they were still a great support system. So I think you have to research for yourself. You can't depend on a pastor or a spiritual leader to guide you completely. You have to research for yourself. You have to realize when you get part of a support group, whether it's Jenny Craig or whether it's a church, they're just humans and they're going to let you down. So just take the good energy you can and just leave the bad. But you have to do the work. Spiritual work, physical work. After I did a spiritual journey, the next thing I did was my health. And like I say, I don't care if you do the keto diet or plant-based diet, you're going to have to learn how to read food labels. You may not ever be perfectly in shape, but at least you'll be healthier. So I recommend spirituality. Then I recommend your physical health. And then, trying to use a positive outlet for your energy, whether it's a creative thing like YouTube or, but if it starts to bring you more harm than good, then don't do that anymore. Everything changes. But that would be some general things I would say. And then I would just end on, if you have anyone in your life that isn't adding positivity to it, they're just taking from your soul, you don't need them. You don't need them. You need people in life. I don't want to start to say that I would be where I'm at without the help of people. I'm not prideful in that. But if people only help you and then they expect something out of you, they're not really your friends. I mean, it's like, then why'd you help me? Just so like I could repay? I mean, I don't know. But just keep positive people around you as best you can. But it's very tough mentally because no matter what, like even like tonight's message, very positive, not too controversy. But like even now as I look at the thing, there's 6 thumbs down. So I understand why many people I've met on YouTube, they've started a YouTube channel and then they just give up. And even if they never get to my level of quote unquote success, being monetized with 8,000 subscriber and 2.5 million of views, still making minimum wage. But like just looking at that, that's why some people, they take away the dislike count because it hurts their mind to look at people giving them negative feedback. I don't care. I mean, but it is painful. It's painful. And even if you get all positive, like I know some people upload videos no one watches, and even if someone watches, they just looking at yourself in the mirror every day by uploading a video, it's very mentally painful. I don't think you should have a YouTube channel if you're in a poor state of mental health because social media outlet, it could be very bad for your mental health. And a lot of people that I met on YouTube, they very much struggle with mental health. YouTube is a great tool. It's a great tool to learn a lot about different things, whether on life, but it's also a breeding ground where people can just leave negative comments or negative feedback because that's their only outlet. They have no other life or they're just a negative person. So it's very tough as a creator. Even at me, I have a small channel. It's very tough to be consistent. But it's like I take the same mindset I did with my career. Like, you're not going to mess up my money. I'm going to show up every day, even if I want to give up. Because there's been plenty of jobs, guys, that I wanted to give up. There's plenty of times on YouTube I want to give up. I said, I don't want to deal with this, ain't worth it. But it's like, I said, Sam, over time, if you're consistent, it'll pay off. You've got the different exchanges I have with people that weighs on your mind. And it's very much a burden. If I had a house, if I had a family, there's no way I would have a YouTube channel upload every day, and there's no way. You couldn't do it. And have a full-time job, there's no way. Side hustle. For most people, it'll never be a full-time hustle. So you say, if it's a side hustle, and it's very mentally painful, and I'm not getting too much, why do it? I could do it because I'm single. I'm in the position of life, but I know a married guy, his channel was growing. He's very much not controversial. He's like a suburban dad. He's a very positive person. He talks about generic stuff. But life, broke him down because he's got a family, he's got a full-time job, and then he's got YouTube, and he's got a positive YouTube channel. And he just, he went MIA for a couple months. Why? Because it's like, you can't have a job, a family, and everything else, and you have to deal with people with no job that are very destructive to their family. And then here you are, you're trying to do something in your life to better your life and to add value to other people, and they're tearing you down because either they're jealous or they have a destructive mind or they're just nasty people. One part of life that I had to come to accept is, Sam, don't try to figure out everyone. Don't try to understand everyone. I mean, try to understand that there's different perspectives in the world, but there are just some nasty people. And there's no rhyme or reason. There's not necessarily two, like they had a bad childhood. Because, guys, I'm one of 3 children. And, look, I'm the only one that's not, in I don't want to tear down my siblings because I'm thankful, but look, I'm the only one that's not on drugs, that's working a full-time job, that's not, and I'm not better than my siblings, and my siblings have been a blessing to me. But I'm saying that to make the point of, you can be raised in the same household with the same parents, with the same opportunities, and you can get a Cain and you can get an Abel. No child is better than the other. We're all just different. And at different times in my life, I got blessed by my siblings. So I'm not trying to make that statement to be like I'm better. I'm not. But I'm making the statement of there's some part of life, you just can't understand it. You can't understand why some people are a certain way, why some people aren't. Look, some of it is, you got to put in the work of life. Some people don't have it mentally. I think a big part of life is mental. I really do. Like, again, YouTube, it's really nothing to do with physical. It's all mental. To be able to sit here and deal with what you do, it's all mental. It's really nothing physical. Even a job. Most people I know who quit a job, who give up on a job, it's not that they can't do it. Some quit because they can't. Most people can't deal with people. They can't deal with the everyday just knowing they have to go to work. It's very mentally painful. And I understand that. Again, that's why, when I tell people not to quit their job, it's not because I want them to go through mental pain. It's because I know the alternative. Because I've been there. When you have no job, you still need money. So, if you got enough money to quit, I say, praise the Lord, masturbate in the sock all day, do whatever you want. But if you don't have enough money to give up on a job, don't. Not because I want to see you suffer through life, but because I don't want to see you destitute. Because, guys, I'm out here in the street, and I see the destitute. Okay? So, a lot of people, they look on YouTube, or they see on, the news, or they go to a church group. I'm out here, and I've been out in the street. I mean, not just when I was living in my car. I mean, for many years of my youth, I've seen different environments. And what I'm telling you is, life can take a series of bad decisions and snowball your life, and you can really get behind the 8-ball. And if you think life gets easier, the more you give up, it actually gets harder. And I've seen when you're really in a bad position, life just fucking really screws you even worse. And then it's very hard. It's very hard to get ahead once you really get behind. It's only by the grace of God in certain instances. So, let's take a hydration break. We'll continue to read the live comments. Thank you guys for the love and support. I do want to acknowledge all the positive people that have blessed me on YouTube and that are supportive. So I don't want to not acknowledge you. I thank you. Let me take a hydration break. Pool Man says, eat plant-based. Yeah, physical health and self-care is part of it. Brandon, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, Sam? I'm doing the best I can. How are you? I love to drive. I learned that we have to keep it moving. That's a great comment. Movement is life. Idle time is the devil's playground. Idleness, I think about, when I grew up, we had a bathroom that was always broke. And sometimes in the sink in the bathroom, the water wouldn't go down the drain. And the water would be idle. And it would smell like decay. If you ever have stagnant water in a sink or something like that just sits there and it doesn't move, it's like the smell of death. It's the smell of toxic people. Toxic people do not keep it moving. Make a mental note, guys. Toxic people do not keep it moving. If you don't keep it moving, you're going to have problems with people, with yourself, with the law. A lot of times people in this lifestyle too live immobile. They keep having problems with the law. And I keep asking them, are you keeping it moving? Because keeping it moving is, it's what this lifestyle is. It's what life is. But even on steroids in this lifestyle. So nothing is for free. Like someone asked me last night, they live in Florida. They left a comment on my channel like 3 o'clock in the morning. They said, Sam, it's hot as hell in Florida. How are you sleeping in your car? I woke up in the morning. I said, look, I sacrificed. There's no easy answer. I got a fan blowing on me right now. So a lot of people want some magical answer. Look, there's a level of sacrifice. And you should always have a fan running in your car because you want to keep that air moving. All right, let's continue. Brandon, I can't give up. I have to make my life better. Brandon, that's the right mindset, brother. I pray you get some breaks along the way, man. Angela, it's easier to give up. I understand that. Giving up sucks. It's no fun. I can understand that. I found that the hard way. Angela, thank you for sharing. Love to you. Journey with Joy, what's up, brother? Shout out to Tennessee, man. I've been meeting a lot of positive people from Tennessee lately, man. Appreciate you guys. Sometimes things can get so difficult, giving up seems like the only option you can succeed with. I understand that. I'm not going to be disingenuous and say I don't understand why people give up. I understand the feeling. I understand the pressure on your mind, on your soul. your whole body feels like you're on fire. K4, brother, thank you for hanging in there with me, man. Thank you for the super chat and the show of appreciation. Thank you for the tip, brother. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Jacksonville. Thank you, K4. Love to you. Thank you for hanging in there with me, man. No, it's not easy. Thank you. Journey with Jordan, I can understand it. You know, like I said, when you're ready to give up, it feels like your whole body's on fire. And giving up is almost like a relief valve. And sometimes it is good to give up on things that are really hurting you. Example, like if you're in a really toxic relationship, giving up is a relief valve. I think it's wisdom. Thank you, K4. I appreciate the tip, man. And I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I know it's not easy sometimes. Love to you, K4. I appreciate you, man. I do. Thank you. I appreciate you. You know, sometimes, like I say, you know, a divorce, as painful as it is, I thank God my mom eventually got divorced. Because it got to the point where I was calling 911 on my own father. Because there was just too much chaos in the house. So at a certain point, you have to give up. Like my mom didn't want to give up on the marriage for whatever reason. I think mainly because of her insecurities. And she had 3 kids. And, you know, you're in such a hole. You're like, if I give up, does it get worse or better? And to be honest with you, initially it gets worse, right? Because like that's what my mom, she had to be thinking. She's like, I got 3 kids. You know, I'm in this house. I got this whole life created. If I give up on my marriage, it's gonna get worse initially, and it did. But I think she saw like when it was affecting her kids in such a negative way, she had no other option. And a good mother eventually realizes, like, you know, if it's affecting my kids that badly, I got to give up. I got to give up. And I that's why I do think that getting a divorce sometimes is a blessing from the Lord. I really do. I really do. Because I think people sometimes they get married at a certain season of their life. They have kids. Like even now, like I look back at my life, there was some girls I was in love with and I could have had a kid with. I mean, now I look back, I said, thank God I didn't have a kid. Only because like I'm a totally different person. And that's not like I can understand after 10, 20 years, you have a kid with someone, you're in a relationship, life completely changes in 10, 20 years. So I can understand, like, you realize, like, you know, you almost need to give up some, not all, and everyone has to own their life, but there's some marriages that should get a divorce. They should. So necessarily, like at a mature stage in life, I don't look at a divorce rate of 50% like a bad thing. You know, it's a painful thing. Because again, I don't think anyone wants to fail. I mean, again, I remember dating a girl and she had got divorced and we would talk about her past and I would ask her about her divorce. And she says, Sam, don't ask me about my divorce anymore because it's too painful. It's like a failure in my life. And once she said that, it's something clicked in my mind, so I can understand now. I can understand now. All right, so let's continue to read K4, man. Thank you again. Love to you, brother. Stay cool in Jacksonville, man. I've been thinking about it. Love to you, man. That's all you say. 2020. What emoji is that? Some type of 2 emojis. David, what's up, man? Just got to give it time. Sometimes time heals. Sometimes time just makes life more mentally taxing. You know, the older you get, sometimes like your hope gets diminished as you get older. It's tough. But here's the answer. Take life one day at a time. Try to have a bad long-term memory in the mindset of like how a cornerback on a football team, if he gets beat by the wide receiver for a touchdown, the next time you go on the field, the next series of plays, you got to forget the last play. You know, you got to forget some failures. You got to let go. You got to try to learn a lesson, but you got to let go. And not easy. And as you get older, you got more stuff you got to let go of. You understand what I'm saying? Because like life is just like a house, right? So over years, you accumulate a lot of things in your house, a lot of knickknacks, just because that's just what it is, right? So in your mind, over the course of your lifetime, you accumulate a lot of memories. Failed relationships, failed business ventures, death of a family member, loved one, friend, dog. And so you got all this stuff in your mind now, just like you got, if you have a house for 10, 15, 20 years, you got all that stuff in a house. And so like, you almost have to downsize your mind. You know, you have to like learn to like get rid of all the stuff that isn't important anymore. Now look, a loved one that passed away, they're still important, but there's only so many memories you could replay because there's nothing you can do about it anymore. You can't, turn back time. So, and if you keep too much of that stuff in your mind, you definitely want to give up, because there's only, even if you're totally mentally strong, there's only so much any of us can take. Everyone has a breaking point. Like I remember they used to call John Gotti the Teflon Don, but guess what, guys? He eventually broke. And he wasn't the Teflon Don. He eventually got locked up. He died of cancer alone in a jail cell. Like I know some people call Trump the Teflon Don now, but let me tell you something. You're going to see how it's going to end. None of us are leaving out of here alive, and all of us can be broken, even the strongest among us. So I've seen it happen. So we're all human. Okay, so you think someone's a superhero, you haven't experienced enough life. And when someone thinks they're a superhero, you're going to see how it ends up. Liz D, thank you for the tip. Liz, I'm praying for you every day that you get in that Corrado. And if I had to get an RV right now, I'd get that Corrado. And that you live your best life. Is living on the road the answer for everything? No. Does the living on the road eventually wear you out? Somewhat, yes. But if you're in a transition, and I mean the comfort of an RV, even though it's expensive, but if you already have an RV, if you already bought the Corrado, which I think you did, then you don't even, you put the memories of you buying it behind you, right? Because you got it now. So now, whatever you got in life, you make the most of it, okay? And so now, if I already had an RV, like I would just make the most of it. I wouldn't just throw it away, right? So you got a great RV, you're blessed. And like I said, when you want to give up on life, look at what you have to be thankful for. Like sometimes I want to get negative. I say, Sam, you got your health, you got a job, you got a lot going for you. Be thankful. So Liz, when you want to give up, because I know it's very mentally painful to change your life, like even though you have the resources to change your life, I totally am empathetic to how mentally hard it is to reposition your life. I totally get it. And so like I understand, like Liz, you could have the Class B right outside your house or wherever you're at. You can have all the resources, but it's still very hard to say, look, I'm going to make some decisions that will guarantee my life will never be the same. And the thing is, like, even if you do that and you jump in your Corrado or your RV, 10 years from now, life will be different again. But life is constant movement, guys. There's no, like, again, even if I bought a home base tomorrow, 10 years from now, would I still want that home base? There's no guarantee. That's why I'm hesitant to buy it sometimes. So life is not, what decision can I make tomorrow that's going to ensure the rest of my life is a certain way. It doesn't work like that. Life is a series of days put together. You try to make more good days than bad days. So if you're at a season of your life where you have to make a transition, you have to jump in your car, your RV, or you have to do something in life to change, you have to get out of a marriage, you have to give up on something, then do it to get to the next point. You're not doing it as the end point. There's no end point. Life is really trying to enjoy the journey. So, but if you need to do something to get to the next point, do it. Like we had a viewer, Jody, like she bought like a tiny house in a community that she rents a lot from, and she's not really happy there anymore. But she said that she bought that lot with realizing it wasn't her final stop, but it was the decision she needed to make to get to the next step. So Liz, thank you for that tip. Do whatever you want. I support you. Nothing is permanent, but try as best you can to keep taking the next step. You know, like Martin Luther King said, faith is taking the next step without seeing the entire staircase. And I think about that. You know, I was reading online the other day, you know, when they did the autopsy on Martin Luther King, they said he had the heart of a 70-year-old man. And Martin Luther King was like middle-aged when he died. When he got assassinated. So when they did the autopsy, they said he had the heart of a 70-year-old man. And the doctors believed that he had the heart of a 70-year-old man because of all the stress. fighting the world. He was literally fighting society. Not that no one's perfect. But what I'm saying is life and dealing with life and the stress of life, and especially when you're trying to implement change. Even if your change is trying to change your life situation, you personally, not society. That's a lot of stress. And it can make your heart, older. I mean, stress affects your physical body. Mental stress affects your physical body. I mean, that's why, like everything in life I try to do now, yes, I think of money, but I only think of the money part of it because I say, if I'm financially obligated, how much stress does that cause to me? Because for me, that's what it's really about. Because to me, I'm not living a lavish lifestyle. I really have no desire to live like, some type of like Mar-a-Lago lifestyle. I really don't. I want to be in nice areas. I don't want to be around craziness. But I just want to be as stress-free as possible. That's really my mindset. Because nothing will eat away at your quality of life like stress. And I go back to, like the director I knew from a company I worked for, he used to always say, keep the faith. But eventually, like, he died early because I think he ran out of faith. I think he started to self-medicate. And I know he was struggling in life and in his family and everything like that. And I think about him often. And, when he said keep the faith, I think about now Martin Luther King. Faith is taking the next step without seeing the entire staircase. And then I think about I love to drive. Keep it moving. Life is, you got to keep it moving. Even when you're totally lost and you're crying, you got to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You got to keep a level of movement. So thank you, Liz. Thank you, K Ford, for the tips. I appreciate that. Thank you. 2020, Sam, you and your message are legend. Well, brother, I appreciate the positivity. Thank you, 2020. Let's take a hydration break. Queen, that's a great comment. Toxic people equal poison. Queen, you're 100% right, and I love you all my heart. Dennis, hey, Sam, this is a tough topic. It is. Life is tough. Sometimes I find the more I give in, the more I want to give up. I can understand that. So I suppose now the opposite works for me. The less I give in, the less I want to give up. I can understand that. Brandon, man, thank you for the tip. Brandon, we have to build a better life. We have to make it real. Work hard towards your dreams. Keep punching, and something will give. Our greatest power is persistence. Damn it, Brandon. Thank you for the tip, brother. I appreciate that. And I appreciate your message of persistence. I used to have a slogan that said, persistence beats resistance. And so I appreciate your comment. And I think not giving up is persistence. Because I think movement is persistence. Because really, like when you give up, there's no movement. So there's no persistence. There's just giving up. And then I often think of the scripture that there was like this story that there was this old widow. That she was a very nasty person. Very nasty. But she kept going to court begging the judge for like some type of like verdict in a case or something. And the judge really didn't like her. But he eventually just gave in to her request because she was so persistent. Now, you got to be careful with that, right? Because, some of you dudes out there that, you're trying to get with a girl, if you're too persistent, you'll get a restraining order. So, now, Brandon just gave a good comment, and I appreciate that tip, brother. So, Brandon just dropped a gem on us. Okay, someone play the Mobb Deep instrumental in the background. Brandon just dropped a gem on us. But all you guys out there that you're chasing a girl, don't be too persistent. Because when you're dating a girl, persistence don't beat resistance. Persistence equals restraining order. And I know a couple guys that got one. So, Brandon, thank you, brother. Keep laughing, man. I hope you not give up. Keep laughing. Don't let anyone steal your sense of humor. Brandon, man, thank you for the tip. That was very generous of you. Thank you. Liz, thank you again. And also, K Ford, thank you. And Dennis, yeah, man. Dennis, you're an insightful man, brother. So, one is the encouraging thing with your situation, Dennis, is you're older. You have like a level of financial stability where I believe you have close to $3,000 when you add Social Security and pension and everything. And so at least you have a level of thankfulness, right? Because I see people out in the street, they're destitute, and they're older than you. And there's not much you can do. I mean, some of it is mental health, some of it is drug addiction. So I'm not going to say that money would solve some of the people's problem. I'm not. But what I'm trying to tell you is, and what I try to tell myself when I get down on life and when I want to give up, I say, Sam, you have a lot to be thankful for, because I've seen a lot of things in life. I've been very fortunate where I've seen a lot of different things in life. And sometimes when I want to get too negative, I say, Sam, all the stuff that you've seen, you are blessed. Because a lot of people have it worse, and you can never forget that. Never forget that. And thankfulness, as much as you can for whatever you have in life, and whatever you can convince your mind, if you can be thankful, I'm not saying it's going to make life a lot easier, but I'm saying it will make life a little bit easier. You got to be thankful, guys. You got to be thankful. Just hang in there, Dennis. XP, that's my brother, man. Haters going to hate. That's true, man. It is what it is. On the people that are actually out there living their dreams. It's true. Let's stay positive. Hydration break, brother. I appreciate you reminding me. And you gave the sock with the masturbation emoji. I agree, brother. I did that. I didn't get in the ocean today. It was so hot, and I was having a little bit of a bad day. I did go for a walk, but I didn't get in the ocean. Tomorrow I try to get in the ocean again. Let's take one more hydration break. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, XP. You're a talented man, man. I hope you keep making videos, but I understand if you need to take a break, because I understand how challenging mentally YouTube is. I really do. I mean, I'm a creator, so I can speak from experience. I think in like 3 days or so, I'm hitting my exact 2-year anniversary of having a YouTube channel. And it's mentally challenging. It is. It's a blessing, so I don't want to be disingenuous, but it's not as easy as it's just like, all right, let me just do a video. It's not, you know. Like I saw some people, like the one guy that I was referencing, like he just took a hiatus because like he couldn't handle YouTube for a little bit. Life was getting to him, and I understand that. And like some people left in the comments on his last video, like, you have to really be stressed out if you can't do like a 5-minute video and just upload it. And they have no idea that even a 5-minute video, if they were a YouTube creator, they're not. They don't understand what it is to deal with life and then put yourself out there and deal with comments on what people think is easy and what they don't, when they're not doing anything. And so, you know, but that's okay. You know, how do you just keep moving forward in life? You can't let the haters make you quit. Like, I'm never going to let a thumbs down make me quit. If anything, that actually spurs me on to go even further. You know what I mean? It's like, and like, you know, sometimes like in my career, when a boss was nasty to me, it was almost like, if you think you're going to make me quit, you just turn me up another notch. Because I've seen how negative people that thumbs down or they're negative to people, I've seen how they make other people quit. And I said, what a disgrace, those type of people. I'll never let someone, you know. And I almost do it for the people that couldn't do it themselves. I almost do it for every person that couldn't deal with the trolls. I almost do it for that. Because really, sometimes I say, Sam, I really don't care either way. And sometimes I do it just to say, hey, you know what? Fuck you guys. They couldn't handle it, but I'll handle it for them. I'll give you a little extra too. So let's stay positive. Journey with Jordan. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. It's true. Look, keep the faith. Again, the scriptures and faith changed my life. If I didn't read the Bible for myself, I would be a religious nut, and I would be just like my pastor. I would commit adultery, but I would say keep the commandments. So, and even the person who wrote that, King Solomon, I believe, or whoever it was, even the person who wrote that, they basically said life was meaningless. They had slaves. They had multiple wives. They weren't even close to perfect. So I'm not going to take their word as like I can never question it. I'll question anything in the Bible I want. I think for myself. Or the Quran, or the Buddha writings, or whatever I want. Because I'm not going to buy into religious dogma. I'm not. I almost did. That's where I had to separate faith from religion. And I'll think for myself. I'll use those writings. And what I get from that writing that Journey with Jordan left is spiritual. The bottom line of the commandments is this. Jesus said the commandments are summed up in this. You know, treat others, you know, right. You know, that's it. That's it. That's it. No one's better than anyone else, but you have the right to cut people off. Like I saw someone yesterday in a convenience store late night, and they were struggling, and they looked at my tattoos and said, "What's that tattoo mean?" And I said, "Well, you know, just like keep the faith, you know. And I'm at the point in my life where I don't want to be friends with any religious person that believes they're entitled or believes they're right, other people are wrong, or that certain religions are evil. Because I could look at any religion, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, I could look at any religion, I could pick it apart, and I could totally make it a disaster. And I can make its history a disaster. You know, Christopher Columbus, he was a Christian. What'd he do? He plummeted the Native Americans, totally destroyed their culture, made them convert to Christianity. And some of the people that fear Islam, they're afraid of Sharia law. What about Christopher Columbus law? And, you know, like I say, terrorism in the Islam faith, that's out there. Small percentage, just like Christianity, small percentage. Jewish everything. Guys, there's good and bad in everyone. Good and bad in everyone. That's why I really don't really care. You know. But people gravitate towards religion because I think there's a part of life that you need spirituality. So I'm not anti-faith. And I'm not mad, you know, whatever, you know, you have to do to find your faith. But I am telling you all that you should go on a journey to seek God. But you should be very cautious. There's a thin line between having faith and getting caught in a religious dogma mindset of a cult. Just like there's a thin line between anorexia and being healthy. There's a thin line between indulging and obesity. I've been obese. I've been at the anorexic level. And I've seen the thin line mentally. I've seen the thin line with a religious dogma. Now, we have a guy right now, Trump, he's been divorced 3 times. He committed adultery on his wife with a porn star. And he's talking about other religions are quote-unquote evil. He's insinuating it. What religion allows you to marry 3 times, and 2 of them are immigrants, commit adultery on your wife while she's pregnant with a porn star, and then say to Starbucks that we're going to celebrate Christmas, don't tell me anything? Screw you. Now, I got no problem with Trump saying, look, you know, what my faith taught me is grace. Because my wife forgave me by grace. No problem. No, I came from New Jersey. You think New Jersey's liberal. Chris Christie was a Republican. He was a hard ass. He was a glutton. Gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins. And he would rain hell on New Jersey. He was very conservative. Even though when we had Hurricane Sandy, he cried on Obama's shoulder like a gummy bear. I remember that. But here he was, like, raising hell, you know, and he was a glutton. Same thing with Trump. He's raising hell. Everyone's got issues, guys. I'm not mad. Once in a while, you got to raise hell. And I don't want to say the word raise hell, but once in a while, look, you got to tell it how it is. But also, you have to show a level of empathy. Also, you have to be somewhat compassionate. You have to understand that when you're in that type of leadership position, you have a certain level of not just telling it how it is, but understanding there's more perspectives than yourself. I mean, I try to do that at some level, but I have a YouTube channel. If I was the president of the world, I mean, I would have to tone certain things down. You know, like just like at my job, I don't get on conference calls and start telling people to go screw themselves. Okay. Because that's not proper. That's not the proper place to have like personal conversations. Like if my job was to be the president, I'm not going to like totally treat it like a YouTube channel. Why? Because it's a different environment. It's a different leadership position. And a leader has to know what position am I leading. A YouTube channel, you're leading people into creativity. It's a place where they can unwind. You can kind of let go. You can let a lot. As a president, you are leading a nation of multiple perspectives. And as a worker, I'm not the same person I am on YouTube to a certain degree. I have to respect that my job doesn't call for me to say my personal stuff. It calls for me to complete certain tasks and work with certain people. So every position has a different protocol. And so, you know, it's interesting. Now let's take a hydration break. Dennis? Denise, why do I always call you Dennis? I'm sorry, Denise, good to see you. I love you, Denise. Brandon? why am I going to stay in New Jersey? It's hotter here. New Jersey had Hurricane Sandy. It was one of the worst hurricanes. I stay there. So the height of the summer, you think the winter will never come. But let me tell you something. The winter will always come. After a month from now, the temperatures will start to die down. So don't get too upset. Hang in there, guys, especially all you nomads out there. Look better. 2020, Orlando's hot. Yeah, Orlando will be even a little bit hotter than the coastal areas because you don't have the ocean breeze. That's true. So everyone out there who's thinking of moving to Florida, you have to be very mindful. If you move into the center of Florida, which is moving to Florida, you have to be very mindful. If you move into the center of Florida, which is Orlando and those surrounding areas in the middle of the landmass, it's going to be more humid, and the air is going to be more stagnant because you don't have the ocean breeze. So that's why I wouldn't recommend, unless you wanted to do whatever you want. I prefer coastal areas because at least you get a little bit of a breeze. It's a little bit of a relief. Little fiery one. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, Sam. Thank you for appreciating me. You are a good man. Thank you. No one's truly good, but I appreciate the sentiment. And I appreciate you preaching from the dashboard pulpit every night. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, yeah, it's been raining every day here. Damn, in Idaho. And yes, I'm losing passion for YouTube. I can understand that, brother. As of now, but I still have many plans, especially as my... I can understand that, brother. As of now, but I still have many plans, especially as my trip to Cali approaches. Well, one is, brother, it's going to be scary to go to Cali. You're going to get in your car, you're going to get outside the city limits of Idaho, and you're going to want to turn around. What I can tell you is, even if you turn around, turn back around and go to California. Because now is the time of your life to change your life. You're in your 20s. Once you get into your 30s and 40s, let me tell you something, it's harder and harder to change your life. And that's what Liz is dealing with. So, brother, you are single, you have no kids, you're in your young 20s, you don't have a lot of responsibility. I'm not saying you're going to move to California and that's going to be the end of your journey. It may change again. But now is the time to at least experience something different. And what I can tell you, brother, is push forward. You're going to want to turn around. But even if you turn around, turn back around again and get your ass to Cali. Let me see something here. Let me show that. Let's continue to read. XB. But your inspiration, man, no pun intended. I appreciate that. Love how real you keep the videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate you appreciate me. I really do, and I thank you. XB, it's a sock. Hey, guys. Look, when I want to give up, sometimes I say, let me masturbate. And I do. I masturbate. Helps to relieve a little bit. And after I masturbate, I say, you know what? Thank God I don't have a relationship. Not because I don't respect relationships, equal healthy ones. But after I masturbate, I say, I wouldn't want to deal with the relationship because I just relieve myself. That's kind of all I want. And so I'm fair. I don't want to hurt someone else. I don't want to get in a relationship and say, look, I just want to relieve myself, because sex is less than 5% of a relationship. And I had some girls who were more sexual than me. But I did, if you Google it, on average, in the totality of a relationship, sex is less than 5% of the relationship. So that means 95% of the relationship is communication, is dealing with other people's emotional issues, their mood swings. They want to go to the Mexican restaurant. You want to go to Starbucks. It's that back and forth. And so if you're getting into it just to fulfill sexual nature, what many people are, and it's understandable, we're sexual beings. Guys, Solomon had many wives, okay? And he wrote, obey the commandments. He was banging out chicks. Huh. You guys get mad at me for banging out, Latino milfs in my mind. Solomon was banging out everyone, Palestinian girls, everyone. Come on, guys. So what I can tell you is this. Masturbate in a sock, and then if you still want to call that girl, call her. But after you masturbate, if you don't want to text her, guess what? You just won. Why'd you win? Because it's just you. Now you can get in your car and go to California. If she's with you, you can't get in that car and go to California. Why? She wants to stay in Idaho and raise a family. She's got family in Idaho. You think she wants to leave her family in Idaho to go to California to be a surfer? To be Rob Dyrdek? Hell no. She wants to raise her kids, show her mom the cute outfit she bought her kid. She wants to go to Target to get sales and buy stuff for the house. And you're just sitting there, you're trying to be Rob Dyrdek. Huh. Good luck with that, bro. Let's take a hydration break. Milano. Bikini emoji. Yeah, Milano. You know what it is. Miami's got the most bikinis in the nation. Miami is the bikini capital of the world. Okay? So shout out to Milano and shout out to every bikini that I see a bikini every day, guys. It's true. So what I can tell you is that's why I masturbate in a sock every day. That's true too. Jeffy laughing good. Low fire one's laughing. Jordan. And actually, sorry to hear about the rain. I hope it clears up and you can get some skateboarding in. Rain as a nomad can be particularly frustrating, though. I feel you there. It's tough. I mean, that's like when I was in New Jersey, when it was bad weather, I have to walk around like Walmart or Lowe's, and I hate it. And that's one of the reasons I came to Florida, because even when it rains, it clears. Then I can get outside again. I got to be able to get outside, or else I completely hate life. It's true. And I want to be outdoors, and that's why I like Florida. Even in the hot weather, like someone said to me today, Sam, I saw you walking in this heat. I can't believe you do that. I got to get out. Now I'll dip back into Starbucks or something to get some fresh air. Get some air conditioning. But I have to be outside. I have to keep moving. Let's continue to read. Journey with Jordan. Idaho in the house. Strong tonight, yeah. Ted emoji shout out, yeah. Little fiery one. Idaho. Not raining in Boise. Uh-oh. Don't start giving your GPS coordinates, because believe me, there's some people out there that are locking down. It's raining like crazy up here. Little fiery one. What a drag. XP. But I'm camping again tonight. I got some shrimp and potato salad. That sounds fun. And my bed in my car. Well, look, if you get good camping weather and you're in your car and you're cozy, that is a blessing. And it is nice. Especially if you have a safe park, a safe place to park. That's a very magical, so enjoy that. Oscar, what's up, man? Good to see you. The reality is most people are miserable, period. I agree with that, brother. Good to see you. Do you, and the hell with everyone else. Damn it, Oscar. I hope you're still in here, man. Good comment, man. Good to see you, brother. Oscar, man, I remember you. Thank you, Oscar. Good comment. XP might start doing cooking videos. I'm not mad at you. You would get a wider audience base if you can get the cooking videos to go viral. Because you got to think about it. If you have a channel about living in your car, less than 1% of society wants to live in their car or are living in their car. So you think about, like, I know you guys watch living in a car videos, and then like you click on one and the algorithm shows you other ones, but it's still less than 1% of society. So if you do a cooking channel, guess what, guys? 100% of society just about wants to know about food or cooking. Now, maybe only 70% are into cooking, but you got a bigger percentage of people that are interested in cooking than living in their car. But here's the thing. People living in their car, there's a smaller amount of people that are actually can give advice that are actually living in their car. So even though you have a smaller audience, you're in a niche, meaning that you're also like one of the few people in life that are doing it, so you also have a little bit more leverage. So you got more of an audience if you do cooking videos, but everyone and their mother does cooking videos, just like every girl does makeup videos. So you got more competition. And now, like, the Nomad world got saturated over the past year or so, so now everyone does Nomad videos. So, look, YouTube is, it's very hard to make a living. It's a side hustle if you're lucky. So, and it's very mentally painful. And so if you ever have a YouTube channel, you'll testify to that. You realize, like, I'd rather do DoorDash or I'd rather do nothing. So try to remember, this is what I remember when I think about YouTube. I try to use it as what is my creative passion. So my creative passion is kind of like share my life, but also be like, have a little bit of a sermon, a little bit of a message, because I enjoy doing it. And so if I can make a little bit of side hustle off it, it's my passion. And that's why I treat my passion and my creative gift different than my job. If I treated YouTube totally like a job, guys, I know how to be diplomatic. I know how to appeal to the masses. I know how to do everything. So I would do it just like very generic. And I wouldn't block people. I wouldn't talk nasty. I would be a lot more, just like if I was the president, I would still tell how it is, but I would know I need to tone certain things down. So I damn sure wouldn't tell you, like, don't date a nurse. Why? Because nurses make a lot of money. They can watch your channel. They can support you. I wouldn't say don't date a girl with Hello Kitty. Why? There's a lot of girls with Hello Kitty that, so there's a lot of things that you could do as a business, but you may not want to do as your creative passion, because creativity is you get to be yourself. Okay. And money is always part of every equation. I'll never be disingenuous with you. But in a creative space, you want your creativity to be greater than the monetization as far as at least what you're able to do. Or else you're just doing a job. And there's nothing wrong with just doing a job, but there's not as much fun and passion in it. Because when you go to a job just for money, look, do what you got to do. I'm not mad at that. Do that. But you're not as passionate. When you're doing what you love, you can't fake passion. Like, there's some people that may not like me. They don't like what I say. But I think most people who are being honest, they could tell Even though I have to play the game a little bit, they can see overall there's a level of true passion. So, that's what creativity is. All right, let's take hydration break. Queen, hello, Queen. Good to see you, Queen. Queen, hang in there. Don't give up. I know how life is, Queen. You know I'm riding with you. Queen says, how was your day, Sam? It was a little bit of a bad day. I had bad days, but I have to be thankful because it wasn't that bad. I mean, I still got my health. I still got my job. I'm still blessed in many ways. A lot of people encouraging me tonight on YouTube. I appreciate super chat tips. So I don't want to complain either. I want to be thankful, but I want to be honest. I had a bad day today. XB, laughing good. XB Jeffy, smells like an old flashlight. Get out. That's the toxicity. XB Jeffy, flashlight. I know. Firewood's laughing. Joy's laughing. Backwoods, what's up, brother? Hey, brother. Glad to see the live like always. I appreciate your positive comments like always. Thank you. Little fiery one. Good to see you, Journey. 2020 gave like someone getting a head massage emoji. XB Jeffy, get a question mark. Cameron. Almost arrested taking a nap in my car today. Where were you parked and for how long? There's always a couple sides to the story. So if you were parked legally for the legal time, what was the reason you were arrested? So there's more to the story. You have to share it. If you don't want to share it, that's fine. But I'm not going to make an assumption based off one perspective can't be the whole part of the story. I love you. Little fiery one. You too, XB. Pay doll. AK Queen. That's crazy. A picture of a dildo? Oh, a Diablo. Oh, devil. Yeah. And sure enough was my friend. Sure enough, used to leave me positive comments, but there was always something in my mind that said he may be a troll because he got the profile picture of a devil. I look at that seriously, but I didn't judge him. I don't judge people. So I say, you know what? If he's positive to me, I'm going to treat him positive. I ain't going to but if he's going to come in here and give me like a sarcastic comment, whoever it is, I don't care how many positive comments they give me. I don't need that because I didn't do that to him. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be treated like that. You're going to treat me like that. Who are you? Screw you. Not right. It's not right people treat you like that. XB, YouTube's hard. It's a disaster. It's also a blessing, but it's very hard. I agree. Journey with Jordan, little fiery one. YouTube, hope you're doing well. Queen, hello everyone. Little fiery one, very well. Investing a lot of energy into new relationship. Oh, Sam is right. It's hard work. Little fiery one, I'm praying for you. I've been there, so I don't want to take away your joy, and I want that relationship to be magical. But I'm going to stay positive with you. And I know it's a lot of work. I've been there. I want the best for you, though, little fire one. Like I said, I'm not negative on relationships. I'm not men going your own way. I'm for you doing you. Now, for me personally, you guys know what I'm about. I'm about staying single. I'm about masturbating in a sock. Okay? But I would never want to steal someone else's dream. And I would never want to tell you, don't get in a relationship or whatever. So if that's your dream and you're in a healthy relationship, I support you. But I masturbate in a sock. All right, good job. Andrew, I did 2 years in a relationship, paid all the bills, took care of my stepdaughter, just to be pushed out the door into homelessness. Sucks, but that's life. Well, I appreciate you sharing, and I can understand that pain. Thank you for sharing, brother. Love to you. I don't want to be disingenuous and give you an answer to make it all better. I can understand that pain completely, but I give you credit for not giving up, man. So stay positive, keep pushing forward, do the best you can, man. Thank you. Danny, what's up, man? Going through the divorce process, men are getting screwed. Sometimes they are, but many times now, women are making more money than men. So there's sometimes where men actually get alimony. So sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. I can't speak to everyone's situation. All I can try to do is just say, look, just try to make it through it and do the best you can. I don't have all the answers. Queen, I don't like toxic people either. Queen, that's why I like you, because you're a positive person. And all you did was been positive to me. You tell me about coloring. You tell me about life. And now, but if Queen came in here and she gave me a sideways comment, would I block Queen? Yeah. Now, if I make Queen upset, would she not watch me? Yeah. She has the right. Queen has the right not to watch me a day in my life. If I'm not good for Queen's mental health, I don't want her to watch me. And if Queen's not good for my mental health, I won't listen to her. Because I want people to have the freedom to do what's best for them. So me and Queen love each other because we're treating each other with respect and love. But if it comes to a point where we can't do that, then I'm okay with us going in separate ways. I don't want that, but I know in life. So Queen, I love you. Journey with Jordan. 70% of divorces are initiated by women. I didn't know that. Where'd you get that statistic from? Why? Women have more to gain in most cases. Well, again, you have to remember society was skewed against women for a big part of society. Like when my mom got a divorce, women didn't have as many job opportunities because in America, we didn't live by our Constitution. Women didn't even have the right to vote for a while, okay, just like minorities. So you can pound your chest about the founding fathers and about Make America Great, but in the 60s and 50s and below and all that, minorities didn't have equal rights, didn't have equal jobs. Women didn't either. So for a big part of life, like you get a divorce, what are you going to do? Alimony is your only way from not being destitute. But I want to be fair. Society has balanced out. And now I've worked for women that are in higher positions than me, and they're very smart and they're very capable. So as we get into a balanced society now, some laws may need to be looked at and adjusted. I agree with that. So I just want to give context, though, on how we got to this point, right? So we got to a point with skewed laws because we had skewed rights. So I could totally appreciate the comment, though, that now we're at a little bit more of equality with rights and with opportunities that maybe we need to adjust some laws. I'm for that. But we just have to provide context to the conversation. Petty Doll, AK Queen, you don't have to quit or give up. Just remove the negative people from your life. Damn it, Queen. Good comment. Good job. Andrew, if a woman gets rid of the men, she has more resources than a man will ever have. I won't say that's always true. I'm not going to say that's always true. I want to give you your space to share your perspective, but I don't want to say that's always true. Not because sometimes, men are stronger in different ways. So it doesn't always have to be that true. I can't say that's always true. I can't agree with it, but I want to respect what you've been through. Queen, if you give up, if you give other people the power over you, don't let them win. Good job, Queen. If you give up, they win. Damn it, Queen, you're getting it. Queen, good job. Andrew, 90% of people are very negative, and want to try to project their negative energy on you. I totally agree with that. They get off on it. Damn it, Andrew, I'll give you a 100% emoji on that. I totally agree with that comment. I want to read it again. He goes, 95% of people are very negative. And here's the key, guys. They want to project their negative energy on you. They get off on it. I agree with that. There was a comment I used to read on Instagram, like, people who love drama, like, it's like oxygen. They can't live without it. Like, they get off on it. There was a guy also I blocked. I'm not going to say his name. He was positive to me sometimes, but sometimes he would give, like, very psychotic messages. I let it slide. But then, like, he started being negative to me. And I used to ask him, like, why are you watching this channel or why are you doing this? He's like, well, I like some drama. Look, if you like drama, if you like some negativity, that's fine. But you also probably not going to be part of my life. Because eventually you're going to give me a sideways comment. Because you like drama. I don't like drama. And because drama is negative energy, man. It really is. Now, I understand a little bit of excitement in life. I understand. But I don't like negative. And drama is negative energy to me. I don't like it. Luke, hey, what's up, man? Hey, man, sending you some good vibes. Thank you. I appreciate you staying positive. Today I had a migraine, so you had a bad day. We have them. Good job for sharing. So was immobilized all day. It's amazing how your body is so fragile. I agree. And your body's connected to your mind. Your mind, the mental strength of life is totally underrated. And so, Luke, I totally understand. I appreciate you being honest. And I think look, some days are bad days. I can understand. Luke, you think you're strong and you can conquer the world, but one thing control really mess up your day. I totally agree with that. I've been there. You think like, you're strong and you're confident and you're smart and you could get humbled at any minute. I totally agree with that. Great comment. Luke, so I definitely just chill out and relax today. Look, some days we take our hits, guys. Some days we get beat up. Some days we fail. Some days we lose. What do? When you wake up tomorrow, you try to forget yesterday. And you try to say, you know what? I'm going to have a short memory. I'm going to make the most of today. I'm just going to take the good times when I can get them. So good job. See me? What's up, man? Good evening. Good evening to you. Layla, hey, Layla. UPS driver got give up jobs. Okay, I don't know any UPS drivers that give up their jobs, but okay. Ryan B. Having to move around all the time is very draining. I agree with that. You understand. It's no joke. I agree. And that's why I think about a home base. Now, a home base is not going to solve life, okay? So if you get a home base or if you rent an apartment, I want to be clear, guys and girls, having a home base, whether it's apartment, house, or piece of land, It will not solve life. Okay? It will not make everything. You're still going to have bad days. Like Luke, he has a place to go at the end of the night, apartment or something. He had a migraine today. He still shut his light down. And I've met people on this channel. They lived in their car. They went back to an apartment. Now they want to go back into a car. Because nothing is perfect. And that's why I'm very cautious. I've taken my time on what do I want to do next with my life. Because I understand that nothing is perfect. But I also understand that you have to evolve. And that you have to constantly look at, all right, life is changing. What do I need to do next to put myself in a healthier position? And you can't be stubborn. So if you use living in your car, van, or RV as a transitional state, do what you need to do and then readjust. Now, if you do it and you're living endlessly on the road and you enjoy it, keep doing you. There's no one answer for everyone, and everyone's in different seasons. But that's what you gotta do. Good job. Yeah, Luke, I can see the comments. I'm reading them. Stay with me. At least the ones I could read, I'm saying I don't see any that got blocked that I didn't approve. So I believe I'm reading all of them, man. Hang with me. Where was I at? Rhyme. Yeah, see me. How do you keep your car smelling fresh in the heat? Not easy. My car smells a little bit like someone living in it. But I do put like a carpet shampooer thing I spray on my seats. I have an air freshener. I wipe the dash down once in a while with like a disinfectant, like a, like the little wipies, so I clean stuff off. But look, when you're living in your car full time, it's going to stink a little bit. You refresh it a little bit. It doesn't smell bad all the time, but it is what it is. It's your everything. So, it's like if you wear underwear all day, at the end of the day, do your underwear smell good? No. Your underwear have been riding up your ass. So if you're sitting in your car seat and you're rolling around your back seat, is your car going to smell good at the end of the day or when you wake up? No. It's going to smell like ass. Okay? So your car is basically like a pair of underwear that you wore all day. It's going to smell like ass. So what does that mean? Just like a pair of underwear. You either wash them or you throw them away. So when your car gets too assy, you may throw it away. But most of the times, just wash it. All right? Let's stay positive. Good job. K Ford, man, thank you again for the tip, brother. And thank you for hanging with me, man. I appreciate you. I respect you. And I'm thankful for you. K Ford, thought you could get a drink on Starbucks for me. Well, I appreciate that. And I thank you. Dennis, you mentioned a great truth with respect to kids, family, or maybe even YouTubers. Love them equally, just differently. I love everyone. I really do. But like someone asked me that yesterday when they saw my tattoo about faith and forgiveness. And I told them, I said, now I have faith. I have forgiveness. I don't keep any hatred in my heart. But I also don't associate with certain people. And I also am not going to let someone walk over me. So you can love everyone. You can still stand up for yourself. And you can still cut people out. And Doug, I appreciate you not giving up. I appreciate you seeing again. I thought about you today, Doug. It's tough to keep a relationship, even a relationship with Doug. Me and Doug have never met each other. But like yesterday, it was almost like we went through a divorce. And we may eventually never speak to each other again. So we had moments in our life we loved each other. I had moments where I thought he was hitting on me. And he told me, like, look, Sam, you're coming up with crazy accusations. I'm not gay. I'm not. And I didn't care he was gay. I just thought, like, he's just trying to hit on me. And then he said, look, I'm not. It's just not who I am. And I said, all right, that's fine. But, like, it's amazing. Like, even a YouTube relationship, like someone I met, and he's a very positive person. Now, like, the past couple of days, I've really been hating anyone who voted for Trump. I'm not going to lie to you. Because Trump really made me upset. And sometimes I think that anyone who voted for Trump, man, I said, can they really even be my friend? Because we look at the world differently. I don't know. I'm being honest with you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to hurt anyone to vote for Trump. Because I know I'm not going to say that I know so many people I love that vote for Trump. I'm not going to say that. But I know some people that are good people that vote for Trump, somewhat. But in my mind, I've been going through that. I said, man, now I understand Hillary's a disaster, but I said, like, that's how it was with my father. And he voted for Trump. And, like, I would always try to find common ground because I'm a diplomat. I'm a peacemaker. I'm not a war starter. I would always try to find common ground. But what happens is 10 years after a relationship, you trying to find common ground, It's like people just keep taking your kindness for weakness. And like their disrespect gets more and more. And it's like, shit, what do you want from me? But Doug, I love you. I'm not talking about you. And I'm just trying to use this as an example and share my life. And again, Doug has been nothing but a respectful person, a loving person. He's written some of the most encouraging comments I ever wrote. And I didn't want to be hurtful to Doug to accuse him of anything. But I'm sharing with you, like, and I got no problem. I love gay people. I love lesbian people. I love everyone. But sometimes, like, I feel like people, like, are molesting me. Like, if they're just hitting on me, right? That's the whole point when I say that. It's like again, like how girls feel. Like, if a guy is just, like, hitting on you, like, you feel like, is he really my friend or does he just want to sleep with me? Like, sometimes, like, when I feel like I find out someone's gay on YouTube, it's not that I care. I stand with them for equal rights. I voted for Hillary. But sometimes I feel like, are they just being nice to me because they want to sleep with me? And, like, I feel like abused. Like, you know, me too. So, like, that's where my perspective comes from. It's not like, you know, it's like, damn, I say damn. It's like, you know, I understand how women feel. But, Doug, I love you. And if anyone out there voted for Trump, I love you too. It's just that, you know, these are my thoughts I try to articulate. But but then I feel bad because I don't want to hurt Doug. And I don't want to hurt anyone. You know, that's again why I deactivated my Facebook and my Instagram. Mainly because I said, look, I know I post things that I'm very passionate about what I believe, and I know I got a bunch of people from a variety of different walks of life that watch me. I don't want to hurt them because I know how hard life is. Even people who voted for Trump, even people who are, I know life is hard for everyone. I don't want to make life harder for people. So what I figured with a YouTube channel is, YouTube is not like looking at your Facebook live stream. Like, you have to intentionally look at someone's YouTube video. And if you don't like them, if they're hurting you, you just don't watch them. So, like, it's not as easy with Instagram or Facebook. Like, you don't want to unfriend them because you like them, but you don't want to show them, like, you don't like them anymore. So, Doug, you know, I love you. I appreciate you not giving up. But I understand if you did have to say, you know what, Sam, I loved you for a season, but we outgrew each other. I understand that. And I would never hold it over your head because I love people enough to give them freedom. I don't want to hurt Doug. And I don't care what Doug is. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to hurt people. But I don't want to be abused either. I don't want to be molested. So it's like that balance of thought that I try to play out in my mind, and this is what I'm sharing with you, and this is why I'm sharing. Because I want you to see, you know, what you deal with and what you have to process in life. You understand what I'm saying? All right, let's take hydration. Black Sheep. I just watched a documentary about a guy lost at sea. He was alone for something like 60 days in the middle of the ocean. It was awesome. Now, I would never want to live on a boat. I know Sailing John used to be a viewer. He lived on his boat. I got to be on the open road because I got more control and more freedom to go to different places. Like in the ocean, you're more isolated. And at least for me, everyone's different. It would be like, I don't want to feel like I'm sinking by myself out there in the middle of nowhere. I wouldn't get excited about that. But some people do. Let's continue to read. Black Sheep. Pain is life. To some extent, you're right. Thinking is life. Pushing your limits is to be alive. I can understand that. Good comment. It's tough, though. I mean, you push yourself, and success almost guarantees failure. Growing in life almost guarantees pain, right? That's why they say growing pains. So at a certain point, you just want to rest. Like I had a viewer, Gail. I think she stopped watching me because, you know, we had like same thing. We had a little disagreement probably. And, you know, she has to work. You know, she had got a divorce and she didn't work most of her life. She was on disability. And she came to Florida and she was trying to get a job and she was having different issues. And then she went back to being a caretaker. You can make good money being a caretaker, guys. You can make good money cleaning houses. Like I know a lot of times you guys come to me and say you can't find jobs. There's always a job to be a caretaker, clean houses, etc. Look, dude, if you don't need money, don't work. I don't want you to have to go through pain, but if you need money, do something. But, you know, she went back to be a caretaker up north. And, you know, I saw one of her last videos, and she said, look, when she gets to 70, she's like 68 now, she's still working. And that's why I tell you guys to work, because you don't want to be 68 and still have to work. And I don't say that hurtfully, but I say that as someone who's seen life. Okay, I see my mom work till she was 70 in a supermarket and her knee give out on her. So why I tell you guys to work is not because I want you to go through pain, it's because I don't want you to be elderly and this world screw you over. And the stock market don't matter when you're at that level, okay? So, Gail made a video. This lady I met on YouTube, I don't want to blow her spot, but I'm sharing. That she's 68, she's back to being a caretaker again. She wants to do it for 2 years, and she goes, when I get 70, I just want to rest. You get to a certain point in life where you just want to rest. Okay. And I say all that to say, because Black Sheep said, like, pushing the limits is to be alive, and that's true, but as you get older, there's not too many limits that you want to push. You actually want to dial it back, and you want to rest a little bit. Guys, the time to work and the time to go out there and make your way is when you're young, you got vigor, and you got energy. Because if you think it gets easier as you get older, you're mistaken. You want to rest when you get older. You don't want to push the limits. And I understand that because I spend a lot of time with the elderly. And I feel my body decaying even now as I get older. And I'm still middle-aged. I'm still in the prime of my life. And I feel the mental tax of life every day. And every day I get older, I got more mental pain because I got more stuff in my mind, more memories. Like, again, your mind is like your house. The longer you have your house, the more stuff you put in your house, the more knickknacks. The longer you have your mind, the older you live, the more memories you have, the more you have to let go. So Doug's dealing with life and all the things going on. Now he also has to deal with our relationship, all the things that we went back and forth. It's like, you get tired of all this shit. So I just want to make the point, you get to a certain point in life, you just want peace. Now, people who want drama, toxic people, they never want peace. I've seen the very elderly people that they're just, there's something the way they're wired. They're just always drama, always, they're toxic. And what I can tell you is they're going to die as a toxic person. And I think my father, whether he had mental issues or I don't know, I'm not saying he was all bad. He helped me in a lot of ways. I see some people that had a father that he never helped them in any way. And I'm thankful for my father because he helped me in different ways. But I can also see, like, he's going to die being him, okay? There's some people, they're going to die Trump 2020, no matter what. Even in 2040, if they're still alive, their mindset is Trump 2020. And like I said, I don't have that mindset. Even when, like, Obama got elected, I didn't have, like, a mindset of Obama reelected 2016 or 2008. Like, I was like, I vote for who I elect, and then I, like, see how it plays out, and then I make another decision at the next election. Because I don't co-sign anyone, like, 100%, like, they got, like, just do you. Not my pastor, not the Pope, not the president. And that's why, like, I disagree with that mindset. Because that's not my mindset. And damn sure ain't my mindset with someone like Trump. He's smart in certain ways. He's done certain good things, but I don't like him. Period. But I still work with him? Yes. Because in your professional life, you work with everyone. That's your job. In your personal life, you get to decide who you want to work with. There's a protocol. Let's continue. See me? My daughter is the only reason I haven't given up on living in a home with my ex. I can understand. It's not easy having children and being involved in a relationship. So love to you. I understand. Thank you for sharing. Black Sheep Alone. I hear you, man. Journey with Jordan at Ryan. I agree. Keeping it moving is very mentally and physically draining. You guys know you guys are living this lifestyle. And Ryan B has a Prius. Journey with Jordan. I don't know what he has. Dodge Omni. I don't know what he's driving in Tennessee. But you guys both know that the constant movement is what wears you out. Not having a place to go to rest. And many people have made the point, and even some people that once lived this nomadic life and then they went back to an apartment or house, they said, Sam, what I found is that house, that apartment, that's my sanctuary. So when you live in your caravan or RV, you're sacrificing, not always as cheap as you think, but even if you're saving some money, you are putting more miles on your mind and on your spirit all the time. And especially if you're doing this to take a chance at a business, to move, to whatever. And after a certain period of time, you're like, all right, well, either the business didn't work out, or I did what I wanted to do, or whatever. It wears on you. And so I'll probably do a video about exit strategy. I think when you get in a car living, you want to have some type of exit strategy. Now, your exit strategy is always going to be based on your options. Life is based on how many options do you have. I remember a girl once told me, or there was a quote, that guys are only as faithful as their options. And girls too, everyone. There's a statistic that when people are poorer, they get less divorces, because when you're poor, you need the other person more. You have to share your resources. When you're richer, you tend to get divorced easier. Why? Because you have resources of your own. I often say, like, when my grandparents came over here, Italians, they're Italian, 100% Italian. They migrated to New York, New Jersey, and like the whole city used to be Italian. Like Newark, New Jersey used to be all Italian. Why? Because when you migrate from another country, you huddle your resources because you're vulnerable. You don't speak the language. You don't have a lot of people in powerful positions. And so your resources have to be shared, and you have to stick together. Family's everything. But then over time, as everyone gets equal power and you become more independent and you have some of your own resources, you don't need to huddle in the masses like that. And so like that's how it's easier to just go your own way. And that's why I tell you guys to live below your means and to earn income. Why? For the simple reason of have more options. When you have more options, you're not on the hook to people. You can decide what you want to do. All right, guys. Keeping it moving. Queen, I'm coloring a castle. Queen, I used to draw a castle. I used to start with 2 rectangles, and then make a couple squares, and then make a couple like a door. I used to do it. Was okay. I was never a good drawer though. In my mind, I could draw good, but in reality, I couldn't. That's why I like coloring books. I like coloring books because the template was already there. All I had to do was color. And I like tropical colors. I like templates. I like some of the basic things to be in the place, and then I just put my own touch on it. Some people like to create from scratch. Like some people like to cook from scratch. I'm not like that. I always like things to be pre-made, and then I'll just put my own twist on it. That's how I like things. Queen says she loves cats. I'm more of a dog person than a cat person, but I love all animals for the most part. Ryan B. My nephew's called 911 on my brother-in-law. My sister doesn't have the confidence to leave. I can understand that. My mom went through that. He was bad news from the start. I understand that. Oh, well, she lives in Florida Panhandle. I can understand that. Look, there's a lot of destitute people in Florida, just like New Jersey, just like everywhere else. Every state has people that are on drugs, that are in bad position. Every state has people that are in good position. No matter where you move in life, no matter what your living situation, you're never going to find life to be perfect everywhere. So life is about figuring out what works for you, putting yourself in an environment around people that best work for you, and, going from there. Milano, Bambi has more options. Yes. And when you're around bikinis, it's better. Chocolate Nomad Vlogs. Hey, brother. 303 in the building. Good to see you, man. It's nice to meet you. Thank you. Dating/marriage should be a supplement to your life, not an encompassing goal. You can have a great life alone. Well, I agree with that. And here's what I've learned in having a companion. There's no such as having a relationship without full emotional commitment. Like for a while after I got done dating, and then I said, well, maybe I'll start to get back into a relationship. I said, I'm going to look for a companion, not a relationship. You start off as companions, but there's no way around it. Eventually, one person will like the other person more than the other, and then it's a back and forth emotional roller coaster. And the bottom line is, the more you're attached to other people, the more your emotional roller coaster goes up and down. Now, look, sometimes our emotional roller coaster goes down to ourselves. Like we cause our own pain. So, but how I look at life is I'd rather cause my own pain because at least I can correct it rather than someone else cause my pain. And so that's how I look at life. I'm not saying that's how you should look at life because I want everyone to do them. I want everyone to be in a healthy situation as best you can. But that's a good comment, brother. It's good to see you as always. Liz, thank you again, Liz. Hey, Sam. Your videos put a lot of wind in my sails. Thank you very much. Next month, heading to California. Good for you. Gonna try living in Colorado. You should. Liz, you have that resource. Now's the time to try it. So even if it doesn't work out long term, at least you know that you got it out of your system. And then she continues to go, gonna work part-time in Oakland. Good job. Keep you posted, please. I love your videos. I want to see, yes, and even if you want to make a video of the Colorado, I would love to see it. But if you don't, I understand. Queen, is the Trenta water is here. I'm almost done with the Trenta water because I have to stay hydrated. It's very hot in Florida, Queen. Liz, thank you again, Liz. I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. Black Sheep, perfect. Thank you. Ryan B. Ed J. The hardest part for me with car living, yes, you have to keep structure. Great comment, Ryan B. You have to keep somewhat of a routine. You have to wake up at a certain time. You have to, if you have no job, you have to go to the gym. If you have a job, obviously you have to go to a job. You have to try to hygiene. You have to try to take a shower. The best time to go to Planet Fitness is 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. There's not a lot of people are in there. So go late night or early in the morning, get your shower in, brush your teeth, floss, because you don't want to have dental problems on the road, and you may still have them. And just keep it moving. Try not to stay parked in the same area too long. You want to keep a level of movement in your life. That's true. Dennis, when it comes to doing the nomad life, where you keep it moving, nearly impossible unless you have to lease your own space. Don't ever give up on keeping your own space. Well, Dennis, I agree with that. You know, you need a level of your own intimacy, your own space. I agree with that. Okay, Ford. If you're married, you're still raging about the same things today as 10 years ago, then damn, you need to just leave. I agree. It's hard, but I totally agree with you. There is no thing for the kids. I agree. It was tough for my mom to do, but I agree with that. Who wants their kids growing up like that? I agree with that, brother. 100 emoji to you. Good comment, K4. Thank you again for support. Queen, I love you, Sam. Thank you, Queen. Queen emoji, chocolate emoji with the cheese. I love you, Queen. See me? Stress-free life for me, as best you can. But there's no such thing as a stress-free life, because life just is stress a little bit. But I do agree that you want to make your life to have as least stress as possible. I agree with that. Good job. Jordan. Martin Luther King also smoked cigarettes, yes, and he also had side pieces, which is the reason he was on the balcony of his hotel. Okay. His associates removed the cigarettes from his chest. Yes, I remember I saw an interview with Jesse Jackson do that. Yep. No one's perfect. And that's true. So, you know, but a lot of times why you smoke cigarettes is because of stress. And also in capitalist society, cigarettes are still legal. Why are they legal? Philip Morris is a publicly traded company. People love the company because they give a good dividend. Okay. So a lot of times, like I hear even Trump say, we're never going to go to socialism, even though Social Security is socialism. And I don't believe in full-out socialism, but in a capitalist society, you can have a corporation such as cigarettes, which intentionally, in court documents prove it, they intentionally manipulated the public and got them addicted to cigarettes and engineered a product that they knew would kill people solely for a profit. If you Google the definition of capitalism, it's companies operating solely for profit. There's no such thing as morals. There's no such thing as Christianity, where we believe in the golden rule that you treat others how you want to be treated. No. In a capitalist society, we believe in gold. We believe in money, the green god, the green calf. And so when I hear someone say we'll never go socialism, I hear someone says we worship the almighty dollar, and if you don't like that, you can leave this country. Now, capitalism is great, but we've also caused other countries who've tried socialism to fail. Why? Because we put trade restrictions on them. Okay? We've basically infiltrated their society, put trade restrictions, strategically and militarily oppose them to oppress them so that we can be the ruling force. America's great. I love America. But also, this is America. Okay. And without Social Security, without basic programs that have nothing to do with capitalism, The cops are not working for a private company. They're paid by the taxpayers. Firefighters paid by the taxpayers. Military officers paid by the taxpayers. They are not operating off capitalism. They're operating off the taxpayers. Okay. So in a country where we print money and we allow corporations to sell cigarettes, and we don't have universal health care, right now, we don't have a leader that cares anything other than the stock market. Obama tripled the stock market, but he also tried to change healthcare. He did instated a thing where companies couldn't not give you healthcare for a pre-existing condition. So is it perfect? No, but you had someone giving effort, okay, to other things other than the almighty dollar. Now, where I don't like Obama, like I don't like him now. Like, I don't know how he can see like what Trump just did the past couple days and not be speaking up against Trump. Like, he's got to lead, man. Even though he's not the president anymore, he's got to speak up against that, man. I see Hillary try to say something, but she don't have that thing, man. That's what Obama, like, he just like plays the background too much sometimes. Like, if you're a leader, like, I'm not even a politician, but if you're a politician, I don't even care if you're ex-politician. Now, I know, like, the standard protocol, like, is if you're an ex-president, like, you don't rain on the other person's parade. I understand that. When you see an injustice, you speak up. Because you damn sure better believe when Trump was a citizen, he was criticizing the shit out of Obama. Obama tripled the stock market, and he had to see Obama's birth certificate. We still haven't seen Trump's tax returns. So if I was Obama, right now, he's got to lead and come after Trump. Not I'm not trying to say, like, ask for impeachment, but he's got to speak up and say, what he said about those congresswomen is wrong. And being that he's not, I'm like, that's the problem. That's why people are getting pissed with Obama. Look, when you're a leader, and if your job, I'm not a politician. If you're a politician, you got to lead and you got to be political. Okay. And if you don't, people are going to get frustrated and they're going to vote an asshole like Trump in the office. So look, it is what it is. So, and that's what happens. Like, when you don't have that leadership, then, crazy people run shit, man. Let's say positive. AJ, man, good to see you, brother. I appreciate that positive comment. AJ, I love you, man. Keep doing your thing, man. When you have a bad day in stocks, you have a bad day in life, just make the most of life, man. And even if stocks never work out, AJ, I know how hard it is. Maybe you should never give up. Maybe you're making $1 million, maybe you're not. But AJ, all I want to tell you is I love you, and that I know that you're going to be a successful person no matter what. And I say that to everyone. Even when your dream fails, and I've been there, or if your dream succeeds, whatever it is, no matter what in life, you're going to want to give up. Because at some point in life kicks you. I don't care if you make a lot of money or if you never make money. There's some parts of life that even no matter what, you're going to get kicked in the ass. So what do I tell you? Put one foot in front of the other and try to stay positive. Try to keep the faith. Not easy. Okay. But anyone that doesn't like that message, let them thumbs down. You don't need them. Because life's hard enough. You damn sure don't need someone breathing down your neck, waiting for you to say something they don't like. You don't need that. Stay positive. Chocolate Nomad vlogs. Sam getting hit by water cannons, beaten by the police, and having the KKK burn crosses in your yard will age you fast. Yeah, I mean, MLK dealt with it. Again, I mean, whatever that was, 50 years ago or so. So, again, we've come a long way. So I can acknowledge progress, and I'm thankful for that. But you have to acknowledge when Trump says, like, we have people that don't love this country. You have to understand, 50 years ago, this country is a couple hundred years old. 50 years ago, the people that you're claiming, like, don't love the country, like, the country was so skewed against them and women, minorities and women, for so long. We're just like a generation or two out of that. Like, they expect you to say, like, hey, look, America's always been great. America, from the flag to the person, like, who wrote the national anthem or Star Spangled, to all the people, there's such an embedded, slanted version of the country that America's still great. I love the country. I think a lot of people that dislike some things about the country, I think they also love the country. Why do I know they love the country? Because they're honest citizens who worked hard to get elected, or they have a job and they peacefully protest. And even when they do things in the confines of society's laws, like if you're a professional football player who's working and you exercise your right to peacefully protest, you're not showing that you don't love the country. You're exercising your right. When you work hard to get elected and you try to change the laws to feel what you feel will be better, you're not being like bad to the country. You're not hating your country. You're saying, all right, I'm trying to work within the confines of my country to make my country better. So like how someone can bully you and say that is hating your country, that's a complete disgrace. And how other people can't speak up to that, and how other people don't like disagree, that doesn't sit well with my soul. Like I can't understand how someone let that slide. I can't understand how someone said I will vote for that again. Do I care about Hillary Clinton missing emails? Not as much as I care about someone being like that. So like we may never see eye to eye. I understand that, but that's like, I don't know, don't sit well with me. All right, let's take hydration. Queen, you give a great comment. Toxic equals poison. I agree with that, Queen. Brandon, man, thank you again for the tip, brother. I appreciate you. We have to build a better life. I agree with you, man. Our greatest power is persistence. I agree with you, brother. Thank you. Don't let anyone make you give up. Okay? Don't let anyone make you give up. Just keep pushing forward. Good job. Black Sheep. Is there a way to send you an email? No, there's not. Or some sort of long form letter? No. I got rid of Facebook and Instagram because of that. I just can't handle it because I just get too much bombarded with different things. Some positive, and I'm very thankful for that, but some like outlandish. So the bottom line is it's either a live comment or a YouTube comment, but that's the only way. Thank you. XP Jeffy. Mob Deep is my jam. Yeah, I like them. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Pay Doll. Thank you, Sam. Cameron. Sam, I want to send you a fleshlight. What? Two, I only need one. Well, I appreciate that. But I'm going to stick with a sock. Why? Because it's disposable and I don't have to clean it. But thank you for the offer and the thought. Liz D. Why a bad day? Stress of life. Some things that I wish were better in certain areas of my life. A little bit of stress trying to decide, do I want to change things with a home base? And that's the general thing. There's some intimate things in my mind that I just don't want to share at this time. But in general terms, that's kind of what it is. But I'm very thankful. Okay. So I want to pull back and say, look, how much I have to be thankful for. I'm living where I want to live. I have a job. I'm able to use YouTube as a creative passion and maybe one day grow and do full time. That would be a blessing. Maybe not, but that's okay. I have my health. I have a sound mind. So I have a lot to be thankful for. I'm not complaining, but I don't want to be disingenuous. Like when I have a bad day, I want to say, look, I had a bad day. Thank you, Liz. Layla, my father, Layla, my father, Klaus Grassville, Florida, work does suck. And look, if you didn't have to work, if you had enough money to make it by, I'm all happy for you. But if you don't, just do what you do to make money. Brandon, if it wasn't for this YouTube channel, I would be so lost, man. Thank you for that love, man. Thanks for your gift of inspiration, Brandon. Thank you for appreciating me, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. XB Jeffy Facts, thank you. Dennis, I am thankful, Sam. Amen. Thankful for this channel. Thank you for that comment. It is an uplifting, thoughtful, and reflective place to virtually visit. Thank you. Keep the faith. Praise the Lord. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Roz. Hey, Roz. Hey, Sam. Hope you had an amazing day. It was a bad day, but I want to thank you for all your generosity, and I hope you had a good day. Shout out to my fellow Floridian. Keep pushing forward, Roz. Tomorrow will be a better day. Journey with Jordan. Yes, that was the end of Ecclesiastes I quoted. Even Solomon had a lot of difficulties, even with all the wisdom and wealth he had. That's right, brother. Good comment, brother. Thank you. Gerald, what's up, man? Thank God for grace. Amen. I think about that when I have a bad day. And that's why I do believe in grace. What's grace? Grace is undeserved love. Grace is undeserved love, meaning that someone doesn't deserve something, but they get it anyway. We have a country that claims to be Christian, that we believe in grace, but we also believe that, look, you don't deserve shit sometimes. You don't get shit. That if you can't make a profit for a company, don't matter, because that's capitalism. Capitalism is solely about profit. That's the definition. Look it up. Capitalism has no soul. Is capitalism better than socialism? It can be. If it has levels of social programs, Social Security, etc. If it has companies that, they won't just lay you off like if for the sake of laying you off or increasing a profit to make their dividend bigger. Guys, I seen a grown man at the middle, get laid off and have to cry. He wasn't a lazy man. He wasn't sitting home. He just got laid off. Now, could he get another job? Yeah, he applied and he got another job. But guess what it was? It was at less pay. So it's like, I've been there. We get laid off. You know how scary that is? Now look, what do? You got to apply for another job. You got to do what you got to do. But like if you think like, society is structured in a manner where we care about grace, no, not in this country. This country is great. But when we try to instill different programs in the country to what some people think make it better, we basically are told go back to a different country. You can't try to change the country even if you try to do it legally. You get bullied by a bully. And that's why I don't like Trump. Do I think he's done some good things? Yes. Do I think everyone that voted for him is bad? No, I don't want to say that. But I also got to be honest. I have a tough time getting my head around, like, if I'm ever going to, like, really be, like, intimate friends with someone that voted for Trump. I don't know. I'll work with anyone. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a loner anyway, I guess. Am I really intimate friends with people who voted for Hillary? I would probably tend to be more chill with them, I guess. I don't know. Let's continue reading. Little fire one. I grew up Mormon. Shout out to Mitt Romney. I'm still trying to break some of that programming. Yeah, shout out to Tom Cruise, who also got caught up in Scientology. It's a long journey. I can understand that. You can get institutionalized in any religion. Christianity, Judaism, Islam. You can get institutionalized in any religion. I totally agree with that. It almost happened to me. That's why it's a good thing I read the Bible for myself. It's a good thing I had the internet to research other religions, and that's what China's wrong. You can't research anything you want. And I had the mental toughness not to get caught up in dogma. Some people don't, and I've seen it. And that's why powerful people who don't care about any type of faith, like if you think someone who got divorced twice, who cheated on their wife when they were pregnant with a porn star named Stormy Daniels, if you think they care about faith, if you think they care about anything other than a dollar bill, I think you got just as low faith as them. That's what I think, to be honest with you. Now, was Bill Clinton any better? Bill Clinton was getting blowjobs too. I'm not mad at him. But what I'm here to tell you is powerful people or manipulative people use religion, any religion, to control the masses. And that was part of colonization. When Christians from Europe came over to America and other lands, part of colonization was indoctrinating people through Christianity, because a big part of Christianity is turning the other cheek and submitting. Now, I agree with Jesus. I love Jesus. I agree with a lot of the things of forgiveness, of grace, of a level of submitting, but I also agree with you have a right to self-defend and not, be oppressed. So, but you better be clear that I think Christianity is great, but I want to be clear that there are some people that use Christianity to totally take over a land to control its resources. Just like in the Middle East, there's powerful people that control oil and that control the ports in certain countries, and they use religions against one side or the other so that they can control the natural resources, and the regular poor people in the country can be so emotionally wound up that they'll fight each other. Because if you think Donald Trump will fight if the war really breaks out, you're kidding. Because in Vietnam, he dodged a draft, and all the poor people sacrificed their life, like my uncle and like other people, okay? So if you think him or any of his family member will strap up and be on the front lines, you're out of your mind, because facts already prove that it's not true. He's got bone spurs. Remember that? So all these people who are so big on patriotism, for me, I look at them like, I don't buy it. Because one is either they love conflict, they love violence, or they like to talk a big game, but they don't realize violence is horrible. And they just use it as an emotional tool. Patriotism is just like religion. It's an emotional tool used to control the masses. Because real patriotism, if you think about it, it's operating within the laws of the country to try to enact change within the confines and law, like protesting peacefully, like running for a congresswoman and trying to pass laws. That's patriotism. Patriotism is not standing up to salute the flag, because you can be a murderer and do that. You can be a KKK member and do that. You could be whoever and do that. That's not patriotism. So, it's like a whole mindset. That's, again, it goes back to, like, I don't know how people rock with that. Sound John, it's good to see you, brother. Also you. Great stuff. Thank you. Keep pushing forward as best you can, brother. I love you. Sound John, it's always a blessing to see you. Brandon, Chris Christie was terrible. July 4th, he closed down the beach. Yeah, and then remember he said on his private beach. I remember that. He could have it all to himself, laughing. Yep, it was a national news. I remember that. His wife was he's a big Wall Street banker. He's a millionaire. After he got out of office, he bought like $1 million Jersey Shore house. So he talked a tough game, but he talked about taking away the pensions of the teachers and the firefighters because the budget was out of skew, even though in America we print money. It's so funny about that. But I never saw him say to balance the budget, not only to balance the budget, that was his whole thing. Not only are we going to cut the teacher's pension and healthcare benefits, which I'm okay with, if he was also going to institute tax reform on corporations and other things. He never did that. And let me tell you something. Some of the biggest corporations in the world, they don't run out of Jersey. They run to Jersey. Why? Because Jersey has a lot of commerce, just like New York does. And that's why Amazon ended up coming to New York. So there's a reason New York, New Jersey, California have some of the highest GDP, and why Alabama and some of the other rural country lands have some of the highest levels of poverty. Because there's more commerce in the populated areas than the unpopulated. And so corporations are always going to go where there's more people. Why? Because there's more money. Why? Because we live in a capitalist society. And capitalism the definition is companies that operate for profit, period. So think about it, guys. XP Jeffrey, thumbs up. Thank you, Milano. Oh, yeah, coastal bikinis. I like that. Alan Lewis, what's up, brother? All you can do is try to move forward. Amen, brother. Step by step. Praise the Lord. Avoid drama if possible. Praise the Lord. Because even when you win, you also lose. Alan Lewis, I appreciate you hanging with me, brother. I love you, man. I know you get it. XP Jeffy. When you turn around, turn back around. Yeah, I love it, brother. Keep that with you, brother, because that's what helped me. I agree with that. Queen, 2020 emojis are a key. And a pair of yellow socks. Good job. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, God. My hands are sweating, guys. Uh-oh. Can I zoom back out? Oh, praise the Lord. I was getting late. Ryan B., there's a van life channel, and it has 2 videos with 500,000 subs. She blew through the roof. It's possible. It's the exception to the rule. But subscribers are not the big revenue joiner. It's the amount of views on the video on the channel. So, but there are some channels that are the exception to the rule. But it's not the rule. That's true. Ryan B., she has about 800,000 subs basically, and 2 videos. It's possible. But even with that, it's probably still minimum wage, because with 2 videos, even if she's got a couple $1 million views, basic guys, on average, 1 million views equals about $3,000, give or take. So it took me 2 years to get basically 2.5 million views. So it took me 2 years to make $6,000. Guys, 2 years to make $6,000. So that means I made $3,000 per year, pre-tax, pre-expense. And then if you divide it by each hour I did on videos, making videos, live stream, editing, I'm making less than minimum wage. I'm still blessed, and it's growing over time. So hopefully it can keep growing. But I want to give you, this is why many people give up on YouTube. Because if you actually look at the mathematics, not just the numbers that look big, you see it's not, and you're sacrificing all your privacy. You know, and it's like you're putting yourself out there, you're mentally drained. It's like, why am I doing this? And I understand why people say, I'm not doing this anymore. Ryan B. And then you give the name, Ryan B. She's pretty hot. I think she's 19. Well, hey, if you're hot, that's a plus. XP Jeffy, thanks. With the Saki, good job. Dream with Jordan, you guys are hilarious. Good laugh. Cameron, thanks, Sam. I love you, brother. Stay positive. Uh-oh. My hands are sweating, guys. Ryan B. Oh, this is a disaster. Ryan B. XP Jeffy can't wait for the next video. Yeah, well, he may never make a video again. He got tired of YouTube. I don't blame him. Layla, at work at Florida. Suck at my job. That's all right. Just do the best you can, Layla. I love you. Luke, brother. Oh, wait, damn, I'm all the way back up top. Shit. Where am I at, man? This is a disaster. Milano, Johnny Q, or not. If I skip somebody, forgive me, guys. I get all flustered here. I'm gonna go to the next one. See. AJ, you inspire me. Thank you again, AJ. I love you, brother. And I appreciate you. You know what I mean. Cameron, this chat's hilarious. Well, I'm good. Someone's laughing. Ryan B. I look forward to this live feed. Thank you. On the days I tune in, I appreciate you. Thanks for keeping on, Sam. Thank you for loving me, man. Doug, I love you, man. He goes, mobile or home base? Is there a time limit for you to make a decision? There's no time limit. Each day as passes, I worry that maybe I should make the decision now while I have a consistently good job where I could probably get a loan. Because, unless I buy like a cheap piece of land out in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to have to get a loan on the property. So, I say, am I in a time window to get a loan and to secure myself for down the road? The loan has to be below my means, but this is entanglement. So, but if I'm going to get one, now's the time. If not, then I just try to continue to save, maybe just be a renter all my life or camping. I'm not sure. No time limit, but that's what goes on in my mind. If not, go with your gut feel. It's not easy, but thank you. Think about it often. When the change comes, change. That's my opinion. Doug, I love you. I hope you're still with me. I love you, Doug. I always will. For it. What I've seen is that the internet troll mindset is the same mindset of the Trump supporter. I don't want to make the blanket statement because, again, like I know some positive people like Doug. I don't believe that of him. There's some people out there that's not like that. But to a big extent, I would say I agree with you. So I want to be fair, and I don't want to be hurtful to the positive people that, like I believe Doug to be a loving man, at least what he showed me. So I don't want to be hurtful to him or anyone like him. But to a certain extent, I would agree with you, K4. Doug, I get up early, so good night, everyone. Doug, I love you. Trump supporters, Democrats, communists, atheists, donut makers, Lakers fan, I love you. Good job to have sense of humor. I'll stop rolling. Self-care, I love you, brother. Good job, Doug. Say it again, self-care, brother, I love you. Good job. Sam, I don't agree with all your thoughts, but I like that you challenge mine reasons behind your own. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Thank you. XP Jeffy, you're still alive? Brother, I'm wore out, man. We got the end. I don't even know. I think I got to each and every live comment. 2 hours plus 2 hours and 20 minutes. Wow. Thank you, man. XP Jeffy, I love you. Guys, thank you, everyone, for leaving a comment. Thank you for taking the effort to click the thumbs up button. K Ford, Liz D, and Brandon, thank you for the super chats, for giving me a tip, appreciating my energy and my effort. Thank you, everyone, for anyone who ever said or did anything positive for me. I appreciate you. You're going to want to give up in life. Just put one foot in front of the other. Keep pushing forward. Peace and love.